Hey guys, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to the Flesh and Blood stream. Today, Silas and I are going to be testing the Fi into Azalea matchup and the Fi mirror quite a bit. We want to see how those matchups feel with our current deck list that we have set up. Silas is going to be playing Azalea against us to start off the day, and then we're going to play the mirror into each other. And we're probably going to try to get, I'm hoping we're going to get 3 or 4 games of each matchup into each other. Just kind of depends on how much time Silas has. And then depending on where we're at, we might play some games after Silas has played some games with us. Say hi to everybody, Silas.
Hello.
Hey, Drew, what's going on, man? Oh, dude, Uncle Cheats already doing a hydrate. We're starting early today.
Drew with the big hydrates.
Oh, God, no big hydrates yet. Praise God.
At least you won't be peeing
all
night if you're starting early.
I was like, yeah, we start early on Sunday, so I don't have to run into that. Oh, Lord. All right.
I think we should do 2 games with me going second, and then 2 games you going second.
Okay, that works. So 2 games you go on second and 2 games me go on second. Yep, works for me. Okay, so Silas has been setting up his Azalea sideboard. So into Azalea, we're running the Kodachis, Mask of Momentum, Furnace, Shuko, and Snaps. And then in our sideboard, we're going to bring in Command and Conquers, Reinforce the Line, and our Sink Belows. And I'm going to cut double strikes because they are not that great. Like if he hits us with a red, this is a terrible card to have. It not only does it block 2, but it's also just a 0 for 1. And then the other card we're going to cut is Artivore. I tried cutting Artivore on Thursday when we played, and I felt like I had some pretty decent success. So I'm looking to try and keep that going here by bringing in some good efficient blocking cards here. All right.
I think the onus is on the Azalea to play well in this matchup to win it.
I mean, it could very well be. All right, so let's see. Playing Kodachi Fi. I'm playing against Silas. Silas is playing Azalea, and I'm going first. All right, your game number 21. We're gonna see how it feels.
All right.
I mean,
I'm not a pro Azalea, but I do have reps on her, thankfully.
This is a pretty decent hand to like try and like push some damage and like try and set up our Shuko a little bit. So we can use Shuko, push some damage, and then we can still arsenal a card. And I can arsenal a card. I think we're just gonna arsenal that. I think that's gonna be the play here.
Well, you know I take that.
I was like, I'd be surprised if he blocked the Kodachi. Yo, Trent, what's going on? We're not all scared of those Dominator Red in the Ledgers. Bring it, Silas.
Dude, I've had success taking on some Red in the Ledger Dominated.
I mean, you like honestly, the Fi deck can have turns where like you don't get punished that bad. Like
no.
Command and Conquer, E-Strike, Warmonger's Diplomacy. Like there are definitely turns that we have in this deck that like aren't punished very hard by. Phoenix Flame for 2 on hit mask. I was like, I imagine Silas is going to give us a card here. I definitely should have thrown the Lava Vein Loyalty here just to make Silas think that maybe I could have had an Ancestral Empowerment to push over if he did have a 2 block. But that's a small mistake right there. Glad you guys streamed during my break at work on Sundays. LMAO. Well, I'm glad too, man. I'm glad as well, Drew. I was like, I'm glad you get to tune in and hang out a little bit, man. This hand's kind of sweet. Hopefully Silas doesn't do anything too crazy here to start the game. The Trinity? Steven, what are you talking about, man? So this is 10. I mean, like my hand, like, I mean, we could just block 10 if we wanted to here, but I don't really, I think going to 30 and then seeing what Silas has is actually okay because we have a pretty explosive hand. Like we have a pretty explosive hand that also has some disruption patched into it here. So I'm pretty keen on keeping this hand and seeing what Silas can do. Perch seems wild here. Would you not run Perch into me?
I think Perch is correct.
I was like, would you not be on Perch, Taylor? God, I was like, I'm having a blank on names right now.
I think the block 2 is so important.
I think I'm just supposed to take 4 here and go to 26 and then still just throw my hand. My hand's really solid here. CNC E-Strike and Warmark's Diplomacy for Red and the Redger. And the gotcha. Oh, I'm following the Holy Trinity, the Holy Trinity of responses. Yo, Uncle Cheats with the 66 biddies. Thank you. I appreciate it, man.
What are viddies?
Bits. It's like in game or like Twitch currency that you can like buy and use. A lot of people like buy them and use them. Dude, Uncle Cheats with 29 bits now. Mason's having a day. Oh, and we have another hydrate. Mason's just living it up over there. So let's lead here. Let's lead on Rabble. Hey, wow, Rabble for 4? Man, unheard of. Somebody get the lottery tickets out. Let's go with Rising Resentment for 3 here. Purchase only for Bravo. Snaps is needed to unbrick a Warmonger's turn. Interesting. So Taylor's saying that you should always run snaps into me.
We'll test it next game.
I was like, let's try it next time. I'm curious to see.
Ancestral this, but I don't think I can play around that.
I mean, I think there are very few worlds where you're ever playing around Ancestral, like ever.
Yeah.
We'll throw the Bittering Thorns as a 1 for 4 here. Hopefully turn it into a 1 for 5. When you playing Riptide, man, Drew, I wouldn't hold your breath, brother. I would not hold your breath there, man. And then Command and Conquer for 7.
Ouch.
CNC for 7's looking pretty strong right here. Getting all 3 cards out of Silas's hand is exactly what we wanted from the Command and Conquer.
I mean, I have to. I can't take that.
So we have a couple of options here. We could end our turn on this, or we could pitch this. Yo, Mason, gifting a sub as well, dude. Thank you, Mason. You just wake up on a Sunday feeling awful generous today, man. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate it, man. Let's see. I could see snaps being better for racing. Perch stops a mass trigger, so it's worth about 5. But if you have an impactful disruption turn, it can double down momentum. Yeah, I mean, so I know that Taylor. I was like, Steven, Taylor's played a lot of Azalea, so like when he says stuff like that, I'm pretty incentivized to like take his word for it. In a lot of ways. But I like a lot of people online have been playing snaps into me, and I think that they're doing it for exactly the reason Taylor's saying. It's to play around. Warmonger's Diplomacy, which makes a lot of sense. Oh my gosh! Back to back red Ravenous Rabbles. Shoo boy. We're feeling it today. Oh, let's go. Another hydrate. We're definitely getting our water intake in today. And then let's end our turn on Warmonger's Diplomacy. Warmonger's Diplomacy helps us from, like, saves us from Salas having, like, a super explosive hand. So we can block 6 and attack for 6, or we can attack for 11. We'll wait and see if Salas throws an arrow at us. I don't think he will, but we'll see what happens. Oh, Taylor says Perch doesn't block a mask momentum trigger, sadly, though. 2 isn't a full break. You can use it on a Dachi and lose 1 value. That makes a lot of sense, actually. I think Steven's trying to say, Taylor, though, that like you can pair it with a card from hand to help stop mask, like a breakpoint mask trigger. Riptide in a nutshell, trap from Arsenal, trap from hand, which allows me to put another trap in Arsenal, trap from Arsenal again. Okay, so Silas only coming in for 4 there. I think that makes our attacking for 11 turn better here. Let's make sure there's not a better turn before I start doing stuff. Like, it could be... No, I mean, like, it could be... No, it could be 7. I think we're better off to just attack for 11. I'd like the Arsenal card here, but I don't... I guess I could go draw a card here and just use my snaps if I wanted to. Now, we haven't seen a snatch yet. I think we want to hang on to our snaps. We also haven't seen a single D-react yet, which is like kind of crazy to think about. Like, I guess it's not that crazy, but we have quite a few of them. And then there's a Command and Conquer that Silas knew was coming because he saw it on top off the Rabble last turn. So it's like we're taking a couple cards out of his hand. And then, okay, this is the hand we're looking for. Hopefully Silas doesn't have a red in the ledger here because this hand's actually insane here. Rabble's on fleek today? Heck yeah, Drew. Who's the Fi now? Oh, Silas could be. Silas could. I was like, I know Azalea started playing a lot of those like Rabbles and E-Strikes and stuff like that to play around cards like Warmonger's Diplomacy so that they can still have turns. Which is actually like, it's a pretty cool, like, it's a pretty neat build in my opinion. So we're not actually able to block 8 here, but Silas also doesn't have an Arsenal, which is really good for us. Now, I think that his play was like I think like he definitely made the correct play here, but
I think I misplayed, actually.
Oh, really?
I think you should play the Seek and Destroy over the Opt.
Did you block with Seek and Destroy last turn?
No, I put an Arsenal to red to Azalea.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, the Seek and Destroy definitely would have been better. Just undo and do the Seek and Destroy there, because that's like you'll have to revert the whole turn. But yeah, that's definitely a better play. We should definitely play like you did that, because that makes my turn a lot more interesting.
I'm going to skip the Crossbones because it doesn't matter since I'll be shuffling to play this.
That's fine. Yeah, and then you get to come in for 8, and then I don't get to have an Arsenal, which is actually very good. So
Yeah, that's good.
In this spot, I would just block 3. I mean, I could give like all of my equipment to stop this here, but then like my hand is like fine. My hand's not great, so I don't think that's the correct play here. And then I think to play around the Seek and Destroy, what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in with Mounting Anger, pitching the Snatch, and then we're just gonna go ahead and activate Furnace so that we can play around Seek and Destroy and keep all the cards in our deck here. Now, if Silas has a very strong hand, then we might still be in a tough spot here. Really depends on what's in his hand here. Remorseless is pretty good. Inertia is annoying. Is that 8? I kind of like this play because it leaves us with a decent amount of like play from our hand here. And then we get to play our reinforcement line. Hope that Silas doesn't have a Rain Razors. I mean, even if Silas does have a Rain Razors, he's basically just going to push through 3 more points of damage here. So we've seen...
Snaps would have been better that turn for me.
Yeah. I think that actually would have been a very good snaps turn right there.
Mm-hmm.
So Kadachi into Censor, which I think is going to prompt Silas to give us a 3-block and his perch here. Or maybe if his hand's set up in a specific way, he gives us 2 cards from hand.
Is that right? I think it's better to keep that.
Okay. Gives me 2 endless arrows. Is kind of scary, but... Okay. So it must be another 0-coster here. Codex. Okay. So we'll see what Silas gets before we decide what we're going to get. Drill Shot. Okay, so Drill Shot's going to be for 9. And he gets to put a counter on our Furnace. So, I mean, I could actually just block 9 here if I wanted to. Three, 5, 9, discard. So we're gonna have to discard the Snatch, I think. We have an E-Strike we can get, which I kind of like. So we get an E-Strike. We discard the Snatch. Silas comes in for 9. He's going to opt 1 first, which is a smart play. He goes on top, which means he wants to arsenal that card. Oh, no, he just wants the Endless Arrow. Okay, well, that actually makes our options a little bit better, I think.
You think so? I don't know if that's right, but...
I mean, I think dominating is just a good play for you here. So, I mean, we have a couple of options here. I can just block 10. Actually, I guess I can't block 10. I'd have to give up my momentum and my furnace to be able to block 10. I could just go to 8. Live on the edge a little bit. I don't think that's correct, though. I think I'm supposed to go to 11 here, take the other frailty, and then we're supposed to arsenal this so that we can try to set up for a more, like, a better hand to block with. I do like how Mask Momentum gives you a pressure point against Azalea the other aggro decks don't have. Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, forcing Azalea to block is actually, like, really nice. I really like that a lot, Drew. Well, I hear the washing machine. My clothes are done. So we're just going to come in for 5 here, which is like a little lackluster considering the double frailty. But I think I just want to get the card in my hand in my arsenal. I think it's just good enough to get it into the arsenal here and like set us up for hopefully a good enough turn here. I actually really like this hand too here. Like, this hand's not bad. Like, looking at hands like this is like what makes me wonder how people are okay playing 12 blues. Like exactly. In what world is somebody okay playing 12 blues? Okay. Okay, so we're coming in for 13 now. No dominate, which is nice.
Yeah, there's no arrows on top, and I'm not going to blind Azalea this late in the game.
So 3, 6. The Deadeye doesn't matter. The premeditate matters to me more than anything, if I'm just being honest with you. 3, 6, 9, 3, 6, 9, 11, 13. Give up everything but my furnace and keep my card in arsenal for a dominated something next turn. How did you opt? Put a card on top of their deck? Okay, so
Skullbone.
Yeah, no. I didn't. I meant like, did you go top or bottom?
Top.
So it's a card you want. Is it better to give my 4 cards from hand? I mean, we have a lot of D-Reacts left in our deck. We haven't seen any of our Sink Belows. So if I go 3, 6, I really hate giving up equipment on hand when I don't have to. Block 9. And then we're just going to go ahead and play the reinforcement line here.
Oh, yeah, give me that on a non-dominated arrow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a really weird decision point. But, like, this, like, allows me to, like, keep something to do here, I think. We're going to go draw a card here. That's a really interesting draw step, and I think probably the only card that makes me decide how I want to do this. I think we're supposed to. I think we're supposed to snaps and just play our card here, because Silas is going to give me a card and he's going to give me the Perch Grapplers, or he's going to keep his hand, go to 1, and then still give me an arsenal. Of course, to be fair, if he has a Dominator Red in the ledger, like, that's a pretty good, like, reason to go to 1 here, I would think. But going to 1 is super scary because, like, any card, like, anything takes a card out of his hand once he's at 1. It's more commonly referred to as the Kodachi lock for anybody who's watching that's might be new to Flesh and Blood. Okay. These are a legal set of cards I'm allowed to have in my hand, I suppose. God, I'm going to draw like 4 blues in one hand here in a minute.
Oh, that's what you want to see.
That's pretty good. Gets to put red on top. Not that the aim counter necessarily matters. So, block 3. Take 5. Go to 6. And then go to 4. Right? Because it's just red. And that. So, it'd be attack for 4 in Arsenal, which gets a card out of Silas's hand. Or he could give me his Tunic and his cross wrap, but I don't think he's going to give up his Tunic and his cross wrap here. Yeah,
let's draw.
I mean, you could, but like, it's like Tunic's on 3. Like, you have 1 more use out of it, you know?
Yeah.
I would assume that you're just going to give me a card from hand and go to 2 and then play your 3-card hand. Or maybe your hand, if your hand is like mediocre enough, I guess you could give me card and cross wrap to stay at 3 instead of going to 2. Because if you go to 2, it means you can only take 1 Kodachi.
I think I give you a cross trap here.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and... Nope, we're not going to pay. So we're at 4, but we have a decent card set up in our arsenal. There's all our blues. You'd love to see it. You'd love to see it. Okay, that's the last red in the ledger, if I remember correctly. Yep, it is. You'd love to see a yellow. Well, we're going to block, mostly because we have to. So
I think it's right to get infecting.
Interesting. Just want to dominate something here?
I can put an aim counter on it to give it +1, and it takes 2 out of your hand, and it'll make you take 2 if you don't pay for it.
I was like, well, it's dominated, so I mean, I was like, I could only block with 1 card. Which I guess technically, if I don't have another blue, does put me in a spot to where I could die. We're going to go ahead and stay at 4, play our Reinforce.
I figured you had a D-React, but...
Yeah. And then we're going to come in for 3. Start off by coming in for 3 right here. Which, I mean, I guess, again, Silas could go to 1 if he wanted to here by giving us Tunic, but I don't think that's correct. And then I'm just going to play Warmongers. Try to make his turn just a little bit worse if I can. Makes it to where we don't have to play around Dominate. Like, we don't have to, like, play around anything, like, crazy, like any buffs.
Man, that's so good right there.
I hope so. Man, these hands have been weird. These blues. So you don't have the Rain Razors, right? You put it. You knocked last turn. So I mean, I guess technically you could have the Rain Razors, but I think I have to hope you don't have it here. So let's think about this. If you don't have it, the game's over on the spot. Yeah, if you don't have it, game's over. If you do have it and you have a 1-cost arrow here, I'm in a really bad spot. We're going to block 2 and see what Silas does. Is it worth playing this anyway? Just to put this on the bottom? 1, 3, 1. Give me a card. Actually, you only have to give me 1 card, I guess. So my hand, like, also only makes you give me 1 card. Even if I do draw into the blue that I need. Okay, well, I think I took the safer play, which I think most of the time will reward you, but that might have been a spot where I just had to say, you know what, like, hopefully it's not there. I don't know.
I didn't have it that turn.
And then come in for 2. So the play that I could have taken was to just like I don't know. I played around you having Rain Razors right there. And like if you don't have it, I like my hand is just so much better. Like I get another card out of your hand. Okay, so this is going to be for 7. Or Silas could always go for the Azalea effect here. This is interesting.
You got double sinks.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I don't think it matters though.
Why? Bracers.
Because I can pop bracers, load an infecting shot, and shoot you again. I mean, you could block it all out, but
So
I don't think you can block 8.
yeah, now the double rain razors gets me. Yeah,
I don't have
bracers.
2, but that one.
Bracers getting me there at the end. Ugh. All right, so let's full rematch, and you run snaps this time.
Okay.
And
Oh man, yesterday I played a Kano, and he pitched 25 resources and only did 20 damage.
That's crazy. So I'm going first this game as well. I get Death Dealer is a really good weapon, but knowing people are going to side D-Reacts into you, Dreadboard seems so good too. Yeah, Drew, I mean, Dreadboard's great, honestly. I'm surprised more people don't play Dreadboard in like a lot of places, like in the current meta. Like Dreadboard is great, man. I have felt that way a lot throughout the meta, honestly. Dreadboard is front into Bravo. Oh, dude, Dreadboard's amazing into Bravo, Wally.
Mm-hmm. You can play around it, though, if it's a good Bravo, and it doesn't matter.
Close game. Bullseye, bracers, and double rain razors.
I didn't double. I just played 1 rain razor.
Then how was your infecting shot for 8? Oh, the bullseye bracers. Bullseye bracers and rain razors got me at the end. Okay. 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 Hey, Max, what's going on, man? How are you, buddy? So we're gonna run the same game plan back. Cut Art of Wars, cut our double strikes, and play our even 60 here.
I take Sleep Dart out against you, too. I think that's a useless card in Defy.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't seem great. So I can push through some damage here, or I can just Arsenal. I mean, we have a pretty decent hand to like push through damage here. I don't know. Let's try pushing a little bit of damage here and see what we can come up with here. Right now, I'm working on a list with Great Bow and Dreadboard. It's fun. Yeah, Wally, Silas and I actually worked on a Great Bow list for a while. Silas put a lot of work and time into like the Great Bow list, and like I really like Great Bow. I think Great Bow is really good.
It changes the way you play, though, quite a bit.
Yeah, no, it changes the deck completely. Good times for all, Max. I hope so, man. I was like, we're out here trying to have a good time on Sunday. So we pushed through 2 points and we took some good cards out of Silas's hand.
What a hand. Interesting.
You just pass?
Nope, sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, crap.
I was like, what?
Too far.
Okay, so you block 5. Or block 6. Trying to Arsenal this. And then we Arsenal this and pass to you. The deck works really good as a mid-range deck that turns Bravo into a walk in the park. My issue is Dromai is kind of rough. I mean, dude, being able to beat Bravo consistently with Azalea is a feat among itself. So I tip my hat to you for that, Wally. That's something that I think a lot of people struggle with, man. So, but yeah, I think like Dromai is just one of those decks, man. Just one of those decks. I think we just take the Rabble here. I don't really think there's a world where I'm ever blocking Rabble. Like, okay, I was like, yeah, it's got to be Codex here if you're playing 2 pumps and then getting something back. So Bolton shot for 10.
I wish it was a drill shot on top. I could have dominated that to you.
So we already have a frailty. So, I mean, I can just block 3, 5, 7, 11 here. Like, I can just block this out and just... Salas has a 5-card hand, though, which is, like, so bad for us. If I take 10, I go to 26, and then I have another frailty token, which kind of makes the card in my arsenal really bad, but I wanna get this there. This is a really awkward turn. This is like the third or fourth hand in 2 games where I've had not a single blue, which is like really weird.
That is weird for 15 blues.
So potentially 4, 4, and then 7. Pass. Really like to arsenal that, but I just don't think there's a line where I can get that card into my arsenal without getting like super punished by the double frailty here. Like, I don't know, it just feels really bad. Wow, 3 rabbles in a row with reds. Living on cloud 9. And then let's go buff here on the E-Strike, because this allows us to push a mass kit at a breakpoint.
I don't care about that. Well, you could snap, I guess, but...
Oh, Ben with the hydrate. Sorry, I missed that, Ben.
I really like my hand. I think I take 7.
I don't think we're supposed to snap here. Okay, I mean, this is a pretty respectable hand. Yeah, we'll just take 4 here. Like, I think this is a pretty decent hand. We have some decent explosive potential here. We'll see what Salas does, because the infecting shot, I'm gonna be honest, is like just like that card just says damage, and like while damage is important, I'm pretty okay taking some damage to try and like get some footing in the race.
What is the correct line? I have such an interesting decision. Let me do this. I want to see if this is the right play.
Azalea is in an inertia.
Oh, that actually worked out. Okay.
So if Salas hits, he can reload here and have a ponder, which means if he has a 0-coster, if he has a 0-cost arrow, I go to 12. He gets to throw a 0-cost arrow at me, and then he still has a card to arsenal. And I mean, my hand's good, but my hand's not take 14 and give him an arsenal good, I don't think. Yo, Dak, what's going on, man? How are you, brother? Doing all right today? I mean, so 3, 5, 7. What do you have that you can go get back if you do have another Codex? You're just looking at another Bolton shot? So, I mean, block this out, stay down 1. I mean, it could be that Silas just has a 1-coster here, and this is just 10 with the inertia, which means if I give my reaction here, and then I just play my hand, that's the best case scenario for me. Let's just play the reaction and try to play our hand here and see what happens. I don't think I want to bottom anything. My hand is pretty solid the way it's set up. So it was the Codex, so it literally did not matter what we did there. The Codex doesn't make my decision point irrelevant, but it makes my decision point a lot less relevant.
I mean, I'm just throwing damage. I don't have any on hit, so it's kind of suck. Sad part is I haven't seen a red in the ledger. Besides turn 0. How, Zoe?
Sorry about that. Carly's running out.
Oh, means I need to run over.
I said Carly's leaving. He said, "Oh, now's my chance. I need to come over now."
Who said that?
Silas did.
Oh.
I love that you automatically assume it's Alexander, though. Silas laughing. Oh, I can't wait to tell Alexander that. That's so funny. Oh,
Double
man.
ponder.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So we're gonna lead on Rising Resentment. The only real good thing that's still going for us right now is the fact that we still have 5 reaction cards in our deck, or I'm sorry, 4 reaction cards that we haven't seen, and the fact that we haven't used any of our equipment.
Yeah, not getting your equipment's rough.
So let's go Bittering Thorns for 4.
Oh, hold on. I gotta think about this.
I wonder if this is a matchup where you want Emberblade.
Yeah, for the Frailty, that guy says anytime you play someone who can play Frailty, anything that gives you a token, you want Emberblade.
So I know you had mentioned this the other night, and I was really thinking about it this morning before we started playing. Is cutting the
Tunic.
Is cutting the tunic worth it for Emberblade? And I'm really thinking about that a lot.
Because I don't think it's worth the Tunic. You only run in like the Arachne or something.
Arachne and Azuri, they're only things I have it set up in, and that's just because I'm okay arsenaling my Art of War as long as my Tunic counter is coming up to 3. Okay, so since that's going to give us a mask here, interesting.
Yeah, my hand's really good.
That's really good. That was a great draw. That was like an uber fantastic draw.
I know I get punished for it, but I don't think I can. I don't know if that's right, but my hand is really, really good. Oh,
I mean, I understand, and I'm not saying you're wrong, but like I just drew that card off mask, and like that's just so good for me.
Then that was totally wrong. And yeah, I can't do anything. My turn's pass. So you win.
You can't, like, you have a non-attack arsenal?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's insane. I mean, I don't know that I win, but, like, that's definitely very good for me. I would be surprised if I lost from here.
Well, hold on. Let me go back.
Okay. So
No, you can finish the turn. Yeah, I need
Yeah.
to choose war, but I need to flip crossbones before passing.
if you choose war, you can't.
Oh, I can't.
You have to pick peace. So you want to
Okay,
pick peace
peace.
here then?
Yeah.
So you can opt one. So I'm gonna pick war. You pick peace. Okay, and then we go to your turn. What happened to the Katsu dreams? I mean, Drew, Katsu's still a very real pick for me going into Cincinnati, brother. Like that's still very much on the table. I have yet to pick a deck. I just really like the way this Phi list has been playing. And like Silas and I have both been working on it. But yeah, like I don't. Katsu's still on the table. I worry about playing Katsu into Dromai.
Go ahead.
Oh, do you want to leave that on top?
Yeah.
I worry about playing Katsu into Dromai and playing Katsu into Bravo. I think those are really hard matchups. But I mean, we still might play Katsu, Drew. I think if you expect Azalea, then yes, it is way worth it. But if you don't expect Azalea, because Bravo is a deck, Tunic is probably worth keeping. Yeah, so Wally, that was like, it was a thought that we had, that we were like talking about, like, is it worth it to be able, like, is it worth it to...
I don't run Tunic in Bravo, though.
I mean, I don't run Tunic into Bravo either, but like, I think he's just saying, like, if you think I think Wally's saying if you think Azalea is not going to be super popular because Bravo's running around, keeping Azalea in Bay, and you're not going to run into Azalea at the 3-0, 4-0 tables, then I think Wally's saying that like we should consider the concept of just playing. I love you too, baby. Of just keeping Tunic in the list for the matchups we want Tunic in, which I don't think is a bad idea, but one thing that I think like I've really learned about Flesh and Blood is, Wally, I'm going to be honest, man, I don't really think it matters what other people are playing. I still think there are people that are just going to show up and they're just going to play Azalea because they love Azalea, if I'm being honest. And I think that like I also think that for other decks. Like, I think there will be people there like playing Bravo because they love Bravo, not because they think it's good. And unfortunately, if I happen to draw one of those people like early on, then like I'm automatically in a worse spot because I wasn't prepared for that matchup. And I think I have a higher chance of running into Azalea than I do Arachne. Again, I could be wrong, but so Ronin Renegade for tree. Activate 5 for 1. We're going to come in for 1. And then one more time, please be there. Oh, yeah. Never didn't have it, boys. Oh, he's going to give us the mask.
It's wrong, but
Dude, punished.
I got punished both times.
Yeah,
So
Lava Burst for 6 is insane right there. What, are you just not blocking?
I can't block it.
What do you mean?
Block 7, then I have no turn, so I don't think it matters at that point.
Oh, you have all... You have all 2 blocks?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. You're deaf,
So
right?
I think giving you the match trigger is definitely a punishment and should never be done on Azalea's end.
I mean, like... So Warmongers was like the one card that punished you there. I mean, now to be fair, the last match trigger you gave me right there, like, that's a lot of, like... There's I think there's pretty good reason to block that at that point in time because there's a lot of cards that punish you right there. But based off of your hand, the only card that can punish you off the top of my deck is Warmongers. So, like, I think that's like a pretty good hedge, honestly. I think I just got pretty lucky with my draw step there.
Yeah, if you don't draw that, though, I think I can win. But because my turn was going to be Deadeye, load Red in the Ledger, draw Rain Razors, play the red in the ledger, play Rain Razors over top, snap it, Codex, another Red in the Ledger.
I mean, yeah, that would be insane.
It was gonna be, and I had a Lace with Blood Rod on top of it, so
yeah, that would have been cracked. So for the notes right there, I put that you gave me the Mask of Momentum hit to draw into Warmongers, and it actually won me the game because I think that's exactly what happened right there. Yeah, so let's rematch. So this time I'm going to be going second this time around. So cut double strikes, cut Art of Wars.
Actually, do I run this because I'm going first? I think so.
Okay, so we submit our deck. Let's see. You're deaf right, because that's why I'm on Azalea. I do believe in the deck, but it's pretty solid as my pick for the future events. Yeah, I get that, Wally, like completely. Like, and you're actively making that decision knowing that Bravo's in the format. So yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, it's the same for me, but as Bolton, yeah, like absolutely, man. Like people play what they love, and people, at the end of the day, like I'm a firm believer that people who play cards that they know have a like decent chance of doing well because they know the deck, especially in an open meta like we're in right now. Like we're in a very open meta game right now in Flesh and Blood where you can play like a lot of things. So like I'm
so bad.
What?
My hand is so bad. It's all bumps.
Well, a lot of blocking then, huh? Is Silas playing a specific Azalea list, or is it just a tourney list? It's Brody's list, right, Silas?
Yeah, it's Brody's.
Yeah,
the one he's 20K on, I think.
Yeah. Oh, so the round 20K list is the one he's playing. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what? Let's see. This hand is interesting because I want to throw this. Like, I want to throw this. I think the obvious pick is just to go Dachi that, pitching this, and then pitching this, and then Arsenal this, which sets me up for next turn. Because I'm playing like I don't know that Silas's hand is all pumps, because he, like, in a real game, he wouldn't have just told me that.
Yeah, but
so
we both can play like we don't know each other's hands, so I'm not too worried about.
Yeah, I mean, that was the play that I was leaning towards before Silas told me that. Now, after Silas tells me his hand is all pumps, I just want to throw as much as I can and then Arsenal this card for next turn. But that's just biased information play, and that's not good testing.
That's one thing I can say we do pretty well. Everybody on the team does, is even if we show you our hand or tell you our hand, we're just like, okay, I'll still make the correct line.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think that's the best way to test personally. Man, how crazy would it be if I just had the pummel?
Dude, if you were running pummel and Phi, I would just scoop.
Bro.
I'd scoop.
Oh, man. I'm probably going to put something like that together one night. I'm probably just going to play like pummel Phi one night. Just
play Royal pummel Phi.
Yeah, like just to tilt, like just to get in everybody's head. Like 100% just to be like, oh, ha, 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 ha. Like, got you, you know, when I'm 0-2. Got somebody in the 0-3 bracket.
Well, it works out. I can actually shoot that.
And if you have a blue, you can put a name counter on it too, right? Oh, dude, that's really good, actually. So now I actually have to block 5? Wow, that's obnoxious.
Yeah. Because you don't want me to say blue and then your turn's just like...
I mean, I guess considering it's dominated... Wait, what's it say? When this hits a hero, they can't pitch cards of the chosen color? Yeah, this actually like wrecks my hand right here.
Yeah,
I think
I'm always saying blue.
Yeah, no, 100%. But the funny part is, like, if I had like all reds or something, I would just like stare at you and say like, okay, because I don't care. But like my hand is like 2 1-costers, so I have to be able to like play things here. Yeah. Ooh. The mind games are real, dude. 100%. 100%, Wally. I was like, I think mind games are a lot more flesh and blood than people realize, if I'm being honest.
They tilt so much.
Like, and a lot of people will tilt, like Silas is talking about. Like, you can put people on a like tilt-a-whirl very quickly. So this allows us to threaten a second mask hit and put a couple of on-hit effects on the chain link here, which is pretty cool. Like, this is like really not a bad turn considering that we had to block with a card. Dabbing on the table 500s. What? True.
Chat's out of control.
I was like, Drew, what are you talking about, dude? I don't even know what that means. Sometimes I swear I feel like such a boomer when I stream. People say stuff and I'm just like, yeah. I feel like that Steve Buscemi meme where he's like with a skateboard and stuff and he's like, ah, yes, other kids. Like,
Yeah.
That's exactly how I feel
cool.
sometimes, man. That sounds interesting.
Actually, is it correct? No, I think it's. Oh, sorry. I hate when I hit undo. It takes back to the.
No, you're
previous
good.
turn.
I mean, like I was like, it takes us back to the last point to like actually do something different. So like if it's on your turn and all you do is pass, then it like.
I think I tunic load my arrow and see what I draw,
I don't hate that.
and then I shoot the infecting shot. I think that's fine. That way, I still present a decision for you. I mean, it's just 7 damage, so it's not like it's a big deal for you, but.
So the funny part is, based off of my hand, it's actually better for me for you to do that. I mean, like I would have found something to do with my hand, but like this just makes my hand a little bit better.
That's fine.
I still have to take 3 here, but like I think that like. So Kodachi. Table 500s are considered meme decks, LMAO. Dude, Drew, I have never heard that term before.
I haven't either.
Dude, sometimes I am such a boomer, dude. I swear. Which is funny because I give Carly a hard time because she's older than me.
Dude, my hand has 2 no blocks.
Well, you got double rain razors over there?
Rain Razor's Memorial Ground, so I can't even block this effectively and have a functioning turn.
Oh, because you don't have a card in Arsenal. I mean, listen, I'll take the mask value here. Hopefully it's something I can actually do.
I can't.
Nice.
It still might be wrong. It still might be wrong to do that, but
so that would have been for 4 in real life, which is obnoxious that it's not in the game.
that's really weird that it's not.
Because I could trigger the mask to happen first, and then the mounting anger resolution to happen after mask, and then I could banish my Rune and Renegade in real life, but it won't let me do that on Talishar for some reason, and I don't really know why.
Yeah, Talishar, when I was playing Azalea, I couldn't play my sync from Arsenal one game, and I was like, I don't understand. There's no effect that prevents me.
Yeah, that's weird. Oh, Ben with another hydrate. We're getting through our water slowly but surely here. This hand's actually pretty sweet. So this is really for 14.
Yeah.
Because this is on hit to.
Yeah, I gave you the mask, but I wouldn't have had a functioning turn again.
So Thorns, this would be our hand. I mean, which is realistically not bad. I could also block 3, 4, 5, 6, play my React from Arsenal, play the Warmongers, Arsenal this, and try to set up a better hand. So there are multiple lines here, but this isn't like a big swinging point in the game. Like I can still throw 4, 8, 13 at Silas, even through the frailty token here, and still keep my React in Arsenal. So I think that's the play, because Silas has a Ponder regardless. If this was on hit, get a Ponder, I would consider blocking it all out just to try and keep. I would consider blocking everything here just to try and keep my life lead and to keep him off of an Arsenal here. I think that would be, considering I could keep Silas also off of an Arsenal and I could play the Warmongers, I think that would be the correct play. But I don't know. It's a Yu-Gi-Oh thing, I guess. Okay, that's fair. While I know Yu-Gi-Oh, I don't really know Yu-Gi-Oh. So big sipping, dude. You know it, Drew. You know it, man. The hydrate thing, the big hydrate and rabble for 2 has become like just a constant meme on my channel. I feel like. Oh, I forgot to change the record after last game. Whoops. I wrote it
Man,
down in
these
the
no-
log, but I didn't change it.
No blocks are not fun in Azalea.
Yeah, I can see that. So considering Salas only has one card in his hand, we're just gonna name Codex. Like, we would just name Codex of Inertia here because he only has one card in his hand. That would just be the play every single time. If Salas had kept a full hand, even if I have no idea what he's actually doing, I'm always going to name Red in the Ledger in the dark. Always. Because Red in the Ledger is the worst thing that can happen to me. Red in the Ledger and Remorseless are both equally bad, but I think that Red is worse. This is an interesting hand.
I think going second increases Fi's matchup percentage so much in this.
I mean, going second gives me a lot of tempo, but it's weird because you getting to go first lets you set up a really good hand because you have like a lot of like power of setup potential. So I like, it's weird, but like I honestly don't know what's better for you to go first or second here.
I think not giving you tempo helps so much because if I can keep a red in the ledger, I can just dominate it or something and make you block from the get-go versus setting up.
Yeah, that's true.
If you go second, you're always taking one card of my hand with mask.
Yeah. And taking cards out of your hand every single turn is very important.
Yeah, even one card just ruins everything Azalea wants to do.
As long as it stays water and not alcohol, you're big chillin'. Yeah. I'm not a big drinker, really. Like, I mean, I'm not like opposed to it, and I don't think people that do it are like wrong or anything, but I'm not really. This is an interesting hand here. So I think our play is going to be, we're going to lead on the Kodachis. So we have a couple of options here now because this could be for 5 draw a card. This could be for 7 on hit draw a card. A 5 draw card is also on hit draw card. And then we have this, even if Salas blocks. But Salas can block with 2 cards. And then since Tunic's coming up, like use his hand pretty effectively here. So I actually really like coming in for 7 here and forcing Salas's hand a little bit. Trying to make Salas's hand a little bit awkward. Because, I mean, he could give us 2 cards in the cross wrap, but we're still pretty early in the game. Like, Salas, like, I'm at 23 and Salas is at 14 here. I like going first as Azalea, but my list is geared more towards Ninja and Bravo because that's all my locals. Oh, okay, Wally. I'd be really curious to see your list, Wally, to see, like, what it looks like. Now, since Salas gave us 3 cards, do I want to snap and throw an extra 5 points here? Or do I just want to hang on to my card for next turn? I mean, I can't take my snaps with me. Like, and I think the last couple of times that I've played my 5 deck, I have been, like, really hanging on to, like, my snaps longer than I need to in a lot of situations. So I think it's better just to throw the 5 here. Even though we only pushed through 2 points, I think this is okay. Oh, and he hits the Bolton shot.
I keep it, though. I don't see any reason to play that.
I don't think you're supposed to play it either there. But if we were both at 1, that would be super relevant.
Yeah.
Until there's a sweet drink in front of him where he can't taste the alcohol. Yeah, Curly's right. When you put like one of those like sugary drinks in front of me, I'm all about it all of a sudden. I am, yeah, no, 100%. So we're going to go Brand. Salas goes to 9. We're going to throw Kodachi. Oh, interesting block.
Yeah, I don't think I get to use that again this game.
We're going to go Bittering Thorns. We're going to activate 5 for 1 because we have 2 Draconic Chain Links. So, Fate Foreseen. Interesting. We didn't see any of those the last couple of games. This might have been.
I put it in this turn just to see what it do.
I was like, this might be some tech since Silas is going first. He's thinking he needs a little bit more of a mid-rangey style game plan into me, which I don't hate, honestly.
The Arsenal that turn 0, it helps so much.
Yeah, there's a lot of value off of that for sure. Is it me? Am I lagging? Do I need to refresh?
Good.
Yep, there it is. And then we're going to come in for 1. Put Silas to 8, and then we'll throw the Snatch. Which, I mean, I don't have snaps, and like this isn't super relevant because I already have a card in my arsenal. Although, honestly, I think I'm just going to pitch this to Furnace. I don't think I really want that in my hand. I think we want offensive hands that do things. Okay. I mean, Silas could just have 3 pumps here. How many codexes have we seen? All 3 of them. Okay, so we cannot get blown out by codex here. Which is kind of nice.
I think you just had tempo this whole game, and I haven't been able to slow you down.
I mean, I've had tempo most of the game, yeah, for sure. So the problem is that even if I do block this out here, Silas still has the ability to just, like, bracers. But if I let him hit with the Bolton shot, he can reload, throw a 1-coster with the Tunic, use snaps, and then bullseye bracers to bullseye bracers in a 0-coster and throw 3 arrows. So he's basically playing Lexi this turn. Oh, that's an interesting choice. I think even if he is going to throw 3 arrows, we're supposed to wait for something a little bit more relevant here. Because the inertia token isn't that bad, really. I mean, yeah, we're just going to play everything. The inertia token's not that bad. Maybe I'm also just supposed to play these 2 cards here together with themselves because they pair well together. Now, I think blocking this is way better, personally. I like this play a lot better. I'm still going to play the reinforced line here because I don't want to take any more points of damage. And I have all of my equipment I can give up here if I need to. Yeah, the extra 5 isn't that scary.
No, but it's the only line to take.
So I'm just going to go to 11. My hand's good enough by itself without actually doing anything here. So
Hey, there's all good arrows.
What'd you say?
So there's a lot of good arrows.
Yeah, I feel like you've seen multiple hands that only have like 1 arrow or no arrows in them so far.
Actually, that's wrong. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I blocked the second Kadachi.
So while I like Silas's thought process here on blocking the second Kadachi, we actually get a free point of value here because we're not going to throw a second Kadachi. Oh, there's that blue. There's that blue.
There's no way I know that, though.
No, absolutely not. Like, you're making the correct decision blocking the second Kadachi to stop a mass kit here, but like I needed my 2 resources to throw the CNC here.
I just don't have a turn. You've had tempo the whole game. Golly.
Yeah, I've had it a lot this game. Going second is very valuable for me. I think I might need help. I'm considering playing Mechanologist. Billy, good lord.
Just play Boost Dash, Billy, and go Pounder.
I was like, dude, nothing wrong with playing Dash, man. In fact, Billy, if you are looking to play Dash, like OG Dash, I actually have a really sweet list put together that I've been enjoying lately. I played it a little bit last Sunday, I think, and I think I played it in Armory, just like see how it feels. I think the deck is really good. The only thing I'm missing is an adaptive plating, which Bobby actually texted me and told me he have. I think I'm going to try and pick it up after the holidays. I need adaptive plating. I want to finish getting like Christmas presents and stuff for everybody because I'm going to be honest, I'm terrible. I have not finished my Christmas shopping yet, and it's December 17th, which, to be fair, is early for me. Like, normally I finish around the 23rd. Mech is fun. Yeah, Wally, Mech is a lot of fun. I'm actually thinking about playing Max. Oh, Billy, even better. Even better, dude. Max is where it's at, brother. Max is where it's at.
Get that cold foil next week.
I was like, dude, you get that Banksy next week. Although I'm going to be honest, I don't really think you should be playing Banksy and Max unless there's a new thing I've seen. Like, unless there's a new thing that people have come out with that I haven't seen yet. Ooh. We're just gonna block this here. We
I was hoping you'd let it hit.
no way, man. Like, no world I'm giving you back an arsenal here.
Yeah, if you let that hit and I just keep blocking and playing endless early every turn.
Yeah, it would be really good. The only problem is that the Kodachis get you at some point.
Yeah.
Like, the Kodachis are just too much at the end of the game for any
I
deck.
think Kodachis are so powerful right now because unless I'm throwing a bunch of frailty traps, you can just always get me with those. It's just so much damage.
I mean, yeah, if I have tempo and at the end of the game, if I'm winning and like you're like low on life, eventually I will kill you with Kodachis. It's inevitable. Like, there's a reason they call it the Kodachi lock. It's just so good. But I also think that like Emberblade might just be better in this matchup.
That's something maybe to test too, but
Yeah, 100%. Mecha Stinky play Riptide. Oh my gosh, Drew. Okay, never mind. Dracus is my man.
Billy plays Riptide.
Yeah, dude, Billy loves Riptide. Let's go.
Yeah.
Dude, we've only
I have
hit
no
one blue
block.
all day.
Yeah, you win. I have no block.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I've got a Blaze Headlong into a Sensor here, which I think even if you have all 3 blocks ends the game. Because you have to give me 2 cards, and then you have to give me 2 cards, and then the Sensor gets there. So 11 turns. Okay.
Game 4.
All right. Let's see. I gotta update some of this stuff here really quick. Yeah, Billy's been playing a lot of Riptide. I was like, he's been playing in Armories a lot. I'm getting tired of getting trapped all the time. Drew said, I know you gave off good vibes. LOL, that's hilarious. I don't have an updated list on February, but I can share the one that I won Squizzy and Floof out on an 18-person armory with. I mean, dude, it's cool that you get 18 people armories, man. Yeah, I mean, dude, so Wally, I was like, you'd have to send it to me on Twitter or something, man. I have been trying to figure out how to set up to like let links come through on YouTube, and I just like for some reason I have yet to figure it out. I was like, so if like if you follow me on Twitter, man, I was like, yeah, shoot it over to me. And I'd love to see your list. Wait a second, your name is Billy. Were you at the Elizabeth? Oh, here we go. See, Drew's just slowly realizing that he knows all of us. That Drew just knows all of us. I think I'm okay just taking a point here. We can take one right there. Okay, whoa, Drew. Did not need all that shade over there. I was playing Fi back then because I was a loser. Good lord. It's a lot of hate right there, brother.
I take that person.
Whoa, what happened? Why did it not let me block?
Oh, go back to here.
I must have clicked pass too many times.
It is dominant. Dominated, I should say.
I figured it still let me block with a card from hand.
But that's what I'm saying. It bugs sometimes with Azalea, and I don't know why.
So let's just... I think I'm okay going to 37, and then I think we'll probably end the turn around 36 or 35, depending on what we draw into here. Salas had a pretty good turn. Being able to push through 3 points on turn 0 is pretty solid. That's interesting. I'm going to be honest. I think this is just Dachi into Censor instead of the E-Strike. I know the E-Strike is more damage, but the Censor like saves us from a red in the ledger. And then I can actually just Arsenal this card and try to set up for an explosive 5-card hand. Now I end at 36, so Salas gets 3 points of value off of his Remorseless.
Clicked the wrong one.
No, you're fine, dude. You're good. Okay, so he keeps the knock, which I guess I wouldn't know about in a real game, but
I just need the blue.
That's fair. That is fair. Possibly at Elizabethan. I played Riptide in the Uvia map. Yeah, you were a really nice dude. Oh, dude, Billy's great. Billy's great, Drew. Taco Bell isn't open. What do you want instead? Ooh, you want to go to Fazoli's? Since it's like right there. Or I could do KFC. I haven't eaten a KFC in a while. Take that back. I had KFC on Friday. Ugh, I had it before cards. I don't know. Where do you want to eat it, baby? Yeah, I can't wait for RTN season. Everyone in that area was super cool. Drew, I'm so excited for RTN season, brother. I am so excited for RTN season. I think I'm just going to take 5 here. I was like, so more than likely, Salas is going to name blue there, and I don't have a single blue, so I think I'm okay with just taking the 5. Let's throw Snatch and see what he does. Let's just start with Snatch here and just see what Salas does, honestly. Yeah, dude, I'm so pumped for RTN season. One, I love the competitive season, and I love grinding games, but like, just everybody within like 2 or 3 hours of us is so cool, and I love seeing everybody and like playing games.
I can't give you that card there. I feel like you just blow me out there.
I don't think there's ever a world where it's correct for you to just like give me the Snatch there. You enable my turn so much more. I mean, unless I draw blue. Hey, you love to see it. And then Lava Burst for 5. Yeah, I have 1 Draconic Chain Link, so there's no way for me to get the Phi back there. Or to get Phi there. I mean, I could have like played differently and like pitched some red cards or something, but I don't think that's correct. Okay, so Salas is just going to give me the mask here.
You have no go again, so I don't care.
Fair enough.
It's a reinforced Salon, which I know you're arsenaling, so.
Yeah, I was like, I'm just going to Arsenal this every time. And then let's see what Salas's turn looks like here. So play a buff. Oh no, play Rabble. Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna join Salas at 27. I don't think I really care about this.
I wouldn't think so.
Dachi that, Flame, that. Yeah, I'll go 23. Fettuccine from Fazoli's? Yes, please. With the chicken, please. I think I need to start evaluating hands every time I draw a stab wound and just be like, okay, like, would Yellow Brand work with this hand? Because like that's what people have been doing. And the other thing that I have to say that I really dislike about going down the Yellow Brands is the idea of that we're cutting a 3-block.
I don't think that's worth.
Like, I really like all the 3 blocks.
Which Azalea doesn't have to give you that. I don't have a 3-block. I can't block that. Again, I have 2 no blocks.
So Silas goes to 21. The Phoenix Flame comes in for 2. Or for 3, I'm sorry, because of Shuko. So if Silas has a 2-block in his hand, he's forced to give us Mask here, or he's forced to give us Equipment. Considering he has 2 no blocks in his hand. Now, we don't know that, you know, in a real game.
When you see me block like that, I think you do.
No, 100%. It tells me that you probably have a Rain Razors and a Memorial Ground in hand, or double Rain Razors. We can just hang on to this and try to play it next turn, depending on what Silas does, what our hand looks like. So yellow brand would be insane in this hand. So there's one counter for how many times I would like yellow brand over the blue stab wound here. I'm actually just gonna get a little sticky note out and start keeping track. Okay. Red in the ledger's looking pretty good here. So 5 dominate is, I mean,
I know you have the reinforce, but it gets it out of your arsenal.
this hand is just terrible otherwise. So block 3. We'll just play the reinforce here. We'll keep our equipment. Now that would have been yellow brand, which would have been the same thing there. So still a point for yellow brand right there. Kadachi. Gives us Tunic on the second Kadachi. Interesting. We're just going to play our Warmongers here. Because our hand was triple blues. We're going to pick War. Salas chooses War as well. And then we'll arsenal our last card here. Interesting hand. Actually, a very interesting hand. I mean, I guess it's possible that this is a true 4. Rain Razors would be a really good play here. And Salas has pitched one, but he hasn't seen another one besides that. I think in the interest of playing around it, I'm actually just going to... Let's go ahead and put this on the bottom, I guess. Okay, so our hand doesn't change at all. I think using... Well, I guess I'm not supposed to play a sync. I'm not supposed to play the sync unless he plays the Rain Razors. So it was a little bit of a misplay on my part there. I just kind of got tunnel vision from what I was thinking about, but I think that's fine. I think we're still in an okay spot, and we're set up to play around red in the ledger pretty well with our arsenal. Now our hand is like pretty weird, but this is an interesting hand. Okay, so read, pre-med. We're also at a point to where I just don't care to block with mask if I have to, because like Salas is a 9. Not gonna get masked many more times. I think blocking this way is the safest thing I can do. Because no matter what Salas picks, I'm okay. So, okay, he picks blues, which is fine. I mean, I think that's a good decision from Silas. I just set my hand up in a way to whether he picked reds or blues, I could do what I wanted to here. So we're gonna pitch our 2 reds and come in with Command and Conquer, which is a pretty like lackluster hand. The problem is that I think if I block with the blue there for 3 and Silas names red, like my hand just doesn't do anything. Like my hand just actually does nothing, which is like really bad. We'll arsenal this. I think that's okay. Not with a hand like that, it's not.
Oh, I thought you were clicking to mark that yellow brand was better again.
Oh, no. I'm just holding my pen at this point. Let's see. Yellow brand would actually be crazy right here. Again, it would. So with the stab wound, Dachi, Dachi. Play this, leave that in arsenal, and then block with this card. Yeah, it would actually be crazy.
For 2, then it's 2 for 2-0.
That's 2 quickly. Now, to be fair, both times that I've had that it would have been better, I've also had multiple blues in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
So every time that I draw stab wound as my only blue, it's a point for stab wound, almost assuredly. I think we're just supposed to take 2 here. Since Silas revealed the blue infecting shot, I think we're just supposed to take 2. Okay.
I don't have another arrow, so that's my only play.
So, I mean, just block 3.
Every time I've hit that card that prevents you from pitching a blue, it's not mattered in your turn.
Yeah, it's not really done much. I mean, I think like last turn, like you had potential to like mess my hand up had somebody not been paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that makes it a little bit more interesting. So let's go Kadachi. And then having 2 floating gives the idea that we might have CNC, but at this point, Silas knows that we pitched 1 last turn, so let's come in with Soul Beat Strike for 2. Let's see how Silas blocks. This is Mask and Go Again right here, so it's pretty safe for Silas just to give us 1 card. But I mean, we could also just be like representing like a Razor Reflex right here. I've seen a lot of people who play like a 1 of Razor, and Ancestral is very common. So blocking with 2 is interesting. Oh, do you have all 2 blocks?
I don't think it's right. No, I just don't think it's right though, because I just lose. I take no pressure. If you have the Ancestral, it's.
If I have the Ancestral, I end up with Go Again and 3 cards in my hand. So
just disgusting. Which
is like absolutely insane. Agreed. 100% agreed. Yo, Riddler, what's up, man? My day is going well, brother. My day is going well. We're testing a little bit Phi into Azalea right now, and then we're gonna be playing the Phi mirror after this game. How's your day going, man? You doing all right today? I have to pitch both of those, and I don't like that. Okay. Codex makes the turn a little bit more on the nose. I mean, we're just supposed to give these cards because we get to go here, here, into here. Stop his 8, so we get to go Rabble, Blaze, Snatch, which is not bad. I mean, considering Silas is at 7 and we're covering this up, there's no risk of us getting blown out here. I think this is a solid block, and I would rather give up my Mask with Silas at 7 than my Shuko, because there is potential that I could keep my Shuko next turn and get extra points out of it, and I think there's a lot to be said for that. Now, the fact that Rabble was for 2 means that I should have kept my Bram with Cinderclaw, but I don't think there's ever going to be a spot where I'm going to make the decision to keep my Brand with Cinderclaw over my Rabble there, because I have no way to get my Phoenix Flame back God, I can't talk. By blocking with 2 cards from hand. So I could have given Shuko there last turn and 1 card from hand to like throw the Phoenix Flame, but I don't. I think the Shuko provides potentially more value over the next turn or two. We'll see what Silas does here. Good luck, man. Everything's going awesome, dude. I really like Azalea. I don't play her, but like what she's built to do. Well, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, Azalea's a cool deck. Azalea's a lot of fun, and I think she offers a lot of like really neat and intricate lines. You can definitely tell when you've played against somebody who is new to Azalea versus somebody who's like been playing Azalea for a while. You can definitely tell the difference in the play patterns and the lines and things like that. Seek and Destroy into Death Dealer. Okay. So, I mean, we might as well give our equipment here, if nothing else. Block 6 and play our card here. I think it's fine. Play our react here. I was like, Silas is going to snap and bullseye bracers here, but hopefully it's something that's not threatening enough for us to really care about. Like, hopefully it's not a red in the ledger. Actually, you know what? Even if it is red in the ledger, I don't care. I think that's fine. I think I can just take... I think I'm okay just taking 8, going to 5, and then just taking 3 cards out of Silas's hand. Because playing this for 7 takes 3 cards out of Silas's hand. Now, if Silas has a Sigil and or a Fate Foreseen here, or I guess like a Sink Below, any kind of defense reaction, he gets to keep 2 cards. But I think we're in a better spot forcing cards out of Silas's hand. So Dachi, this, yeah, I mean, this is just game right here.
And these drawing these no blocks is I don't know if I agree with having them in your deck.
Is that what Brody was running? Like, is that his sideboard plan?
Oh, he doesn't have the sideboard plan listed in the
Gotcha. Okay. I mean, there might be different cards you could run if you don't like the no blocks.
I hate the Rain Razors. Yeah, you win there.
Yeah, I was like, this gets...
I hated Rain Razors when we were testing it too.
Oh, really? I mean, Zach and everybody's been swearing by it, so like, I think it's got to be pretty good. Like,
it can win you games, but I don't like it.
Okay, so
I think going second is what Azalea wants.
All right, so covered up. Both.
I think our game plan into Azalea is pretty good.
Yeah, I really like it. Like, I feel pretty good after going 3-1 like that into you. Covered up both red in the ledgers to not lose all my tempo. Game plan feels solid. And then last game, going second gave me all the tempo. Silas never had a big red in the ledger to shut me down. Okay. So Fi going second gives a lot of value.
Yeah. Yeah, Azalea could dominate a red in the ledger on turn 0, but I feel like that's minimal that's going to happen.
I mean, yeah, when it happens, it's insane, though. Like, it's absolutely crazy when it happens. Let's see. But yeah, if you have time this week, would love to learn more about Max and what the general plan is. Yeah, Billy, absolutely, man. I'd be happy to talk to you about that. I love Max, man. I had a great time. I firmly believe that Nitro Mechanoid is the way to go in Max. Like, high octane Mechanoid combo can be upwards of 40 to 50 points in one turn. So I think the ceiling I maxed out at was 44 points in one turn. But it was absolutely insane. It was really cool. Razor is super good, but it can tilt people if you draw it wrong. Yeah, Gavin, I think that Razor can like gives you more blowout potential, but also gives you more floor potential. So like I think that's one of the main problems with playing Razor in this list. Cranking banks, baby, absolutely. Cranking and banking left and right while we're playing Max, man. All right, you want to play the mirror?
Yeah.
I
think we feel good about Azalea.
I mean, I was like, I like our game plan into Azalea. It feels really solid.
Azalea has to draw well and play well, and it's tough to do consistently throughout the day.
I think that if we get a little lucky, I think we can win that matchup consistently.
Yes. I think it is Azalea favored, but you can win it consistently and be okay.
I also think it's Azalea favored. Do you have a max deck list? Logan, let's see here. I have an old one. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I have a max list that I was playing like back when the first set came out. Yeah, the last time I updated this was October 31st. So I have a list that I have played quite a bit with that I really enjoyed. But I don't know if it's the best way to be playing it. I mean, if you guys want, I was like, I'm happy to post my max deck list in the chat for you guys to see if you guys want to see it, Logan. I have one that I have Goldfish with, but yeah, I would love more looks and options at max. Yeah, absolutely, Billy. We can do that this week for sure, man. Okay, so I'm going first here. So let me put that in my thing here. So now we're playing the mirror, and I will be going first these first couple of games. Okay. So going first, we want Mask of Momentum, Furnace, Shuko. We want the whole 9 yards. So I think if I was going second, I think there might be some consideration to just bringing in the empowerments and trying to push Mask as much as possible. But I think going first, I think I want to be able to I think I want to bring in my Sync Belows in hopes that I can Arsenal one, and I want to leave in my other 57 cards. I don't know that I really want to change anything else. I think that like the Artivores, the Sensors can be really good. Sensor's pretty much always just going to name Artivore in this matchup. I think we just bring in Syncs and try it this way going first. How are you boarding going second, Silas?
Just Ancestrals.
You're just bringing in the Ancestrals going second. Okay, so you had the same thoughts that I did there. Okay,
yeah,
cool. All right, so let's try it and let's see what happens here. The Melbourne list is pretty solid. I think the opt boost cards are a bit mad, but other than that, oh, that's cool. I haven't seen the Melbourne list. I would be intrigued to see that actually, Drew. That would be kind of cool. Fi is a deck I want to build. I should do it before he LLs. Cold Foil FSF. Flamescale Furnace. Okay. Whew. Is an awesome looking card. So I've never seen a Cold Foil one, Riddler.
Yeah, you have. I have one.
Do you have a Cold Foil one?
Yeah.
I've never seen yours, I don't think. Not up close anyway.
No,
I was like, I have a Rainbow Foil one that I opened, but I've never seen a Cold Foil one. I bet it's a cool art though. But yeah, dude, you should build Fi. Fi is awesome. I think we're just gonna Arsenal and pass. Hope your hand's a little weird.
How'd you know?
I mean, I don't, but I'm guessing. So, I think we're just taking both the Kodachis here, and we're going to see what Salas throws on Chainlink 3.
Let's go. It's a rabble for 4.
So Dachi Rabble means Salas more than likely isn't going to Phoenix Flame here, which means it's probably just going to be a card and then an Arsenal. So my hand can be Dachi this into this. I think this is a pretty good, like I'm giving up some decent points here to be able to oh, that's definitely not the cards I wanted to block with. I'm giving up some points to be able to to block his mask hit here, but I think blocking his mask hit is pretty relevant. Because if I let Silas go crazy, early on in the game, I think I can get put behind pretty quickly. Yeah, so he had the Lava Burst here. So, I'm curious to know. You'll have to tell me if it would have been good for you your first card you draw.
It would have been the lava burst. No, because then I would have had 3 lava burst in hand.
No. I'm talking about whatever you draw off the top of the deck.
Oh, it would have been lava burst.
You saw it because of the rabble. So I don't know. He has the lava burst. So giving Silas a chain ender off of Mask is something I would never do. So I stand by my play, even if Silas's hand was awkward and it would have worked out for me in the end. I stand by my play there. So throwing a breakpoint here on Chain Link 3 to force Silas's hand a little bit. And then we're going to throw another on-hit effect card.
Oof.
This is super relevant here. I was okay blocking Mask because I know that if Silas wants to stop this, he's going to have a D-react, which I know in quotation marks that Silas doesn't have, but I'm not going to play that way. So I'm going to try and strip as many cards out of Silas's hand as I possibly can here in hopes of making his hand awkward. Wow, this hand's weird. I hate having E-Strike and Snatch in the same hand. This is such a good card to Arsenal.
You mean you're not going to play that Wordmongers this time?
Yeah, right. If it mattered at all in this matchup, I'd consider it. That card says Dachis are block 3 in this matchup, brother.
Yeah.
Okay, so gives me Furnace on the second Chain Link. That means Silas has a good hand. That is a telling sign that Silas has an extremely good hand that he wants to do something with here.
Yeah, my hand's busted.
So I'm going to really try and push as much damage as I can here, considering that Silas is telling me that. Now, this is where it gets a little interesting, because Silas has to decide how good is his hand. I mean, if it's a big Art of War turn, he's probably just taking it.
Yeah, I'm taking it.
Now, if Silas has a sink below here, it's worth noting that I get absolutely blown out right here. How many?
Oh.
I have 0 Draconic Chain Links to this point. Sag, which means even if I throw this, I can't Furnace, which is a big Sag. I think we're just going to go for 7 here. We're just going to throw 7 and try to get a card to Arsenal here. I mean, that's a good card to have in our Arsenal here. I'm assuming at this point Silas has an Art of War in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine he's doing, he's taking that much damage. Silas was what, at 36 or something like that? Silas just took 14 to be able to play his Art of War, which I don't think is incorrect. A big Art of War turn early on in the game can really put you in the driver's seat. So I actually think he probably made a good decision right there. It also gives me an opportunity. I think as the 5 player, you have to be able to realize when you need to push for damage. And I think that was our best chance to push in the mirror. We also have to find turns to make up damage when we're going first. We have to find any opportunity we can to get on the front foot here. So this is for 3. I mean, if this is Ancestral, it's Blowout City right here, but I don't really think the way my hand's set up, I can afford to play around it. So we're just going to block 3. Okay, it's not there. Praise God. We'll take the Dachi. Oh.
What is the right line here? Man. Maybe I misplayed there.
Think so?
Yeah, I don't, but it seems so wrong to play 2 Art of Wars on 1 turn. Yeah, I could have triggered Mask and drawn 3 cards, but if I draw 2 blues, it's just like useless.
I mean, I think you're probably in a better spot to set up the next Art of War.
That's what I think.
Back-to-back Art of War turns is better, in my opinion, than having back-to-back Art of War turns is better than having 2 Art of Wars in 1 turn.
I think I'll play this first because if I can snap this and do stuff still.
I mean, I guess Silas does have 2 cards in hand, so the thought of snap is something I have to consider.
If I have a snatch here, you just get punished.
Yeah, by blocking, because it means I'd have to block with other cards. So I'm not gonna block. Okay, so Silas decided he didn't want to do anything there. Which, like, ultimately I'm just left with a card in my hand that I can't really play or use for anything, but I think that's fine. So let's lead on Razzing Resentment for 3. Not gonna make anything cost less. There's no reason to. Let's throw Rabble for 2. There you go. You'll love to see it. I really want to throw this, but like I don't. Actually, you know what? This is just a better play. I need to throw Mounting Anger here. Because I can pitch this to throw the Mounting Anger, and that is just better. That is just better. Yo, Riddler Man with a tier 1 sub on Twitch. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that, man. Really means a lot. It's like I know you're a streamer, so I know you know how much that means. I appreciate you supporting me, man. What'd you say, Silas?
I was just thinking that we're on Chain Link 2, so.
This also makes my snatch for 5 if the Mounting Anger hits here. And I don't have Go again, but this does give me 2 cards to choose what I want to arsenal with here. And I think that putting Silas to 10 and having 2 cards to choose from. Oh my gosh.
Is that bad or good?
No, it's good. It scared the crap out of me. That noise back-to-back scared me. Oh, man. Carly, for back-to-back Prime months, thank you. 20 months. Carly has been subscribed to my channel for 20 months. She is the best. Thank you, baby. I appreciate it. All right, so we actually drew into one of our D-Reacts here to Arsenal, which is fantastic, considering we're up 13 points.
Oh,
honestly, I'm just taking that. I'm taking the hit off of the blue on top. What was it? Stab wound? Yeah, so I'm just taking that there. That's just like super value for me that I can take. I also haven't blocked with any equipment yet, which is very important to take note of, because we have we're gonna have to do some more blocking this turn. Hopefully it's only so this being for 5. I mean, I could just give Salt and Furnace here, and then it's Dachi Brand Dachi Phoenix Flame. So it's overall, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, I mean, we're blocking pretty efficiently here, I think. And if Silas does throw like a 6 at us here to be that we need to block to like stop a mass hit or something, I think we're in an okay spot. It's also important to recognize that Silas could not Ancestral Empowerment the Blaze Headlong, which is important. We take 4. Now, if Silas has like a Censor here, he could definitely play that card, which would be very good. He could banish the Censor from his hand and come in for 6.
So I have 2 Draconics. Yeah.
Salt of Wound's also pretty good here. Crazy part, this isn't Mask. Like, there's nothing coming after this. You have 2 Draconic Chain Links, right?
Yeah, I couldn't Phoenix Flame.
So, I mean, I think it's worth...
I think in hindsight, it's correct doing the double Art of War just because I would have drawn 3 cards and kept going.
I mean, that's fair. I'm generally pretty hard against double Artivore if I can help it, but I understand like where you're coming from there. Being able to push it on a mass kit is also pretty good.
Yeah.
So I think I'm okay going to 11 to be able to throw 5 at Silas here. I can attack for 5 or block 4 here, and I think that attacking for 5 when Silas is at 10 is much better. I also have a really good like defensive card set up in my arsenal, and I have most of my equipment left to block with, so we're in a decent spot. Also, keeping my cards lets me utilize Shuko here. We don't get to threaten Mask more than one time, but we're not really going to get a Mask hit again. At least I can't imagine we are. I would be pretty surprised if we ever got a Mask hit the rest of the game. I'll take the 3 and go to 8. I think I take the Kodachi here. I don't think giving up my furnace is worth it. I think I can always just stop whatever the third chain link is here. I mean, unless Silas has a third Artivore, blocking with Sink Below is just a pretty safe thing that we're doing. So I think we're just going to go for that play. I'm not going to sink anything because my hand's insane. Yep, I'll take 1 off the Kodachi and go to 6. Silas activates 5 for 1, I guess. Or for free, I guess. I am going to block this here. I want to be able to block the Phoenix Flame so that he can't have Mask on Chain Link 3 here. Or I guess on Chain Link 6.
That means I arsenal that.
So we have the same amount of equipment. We no longer have our Sink Below, and we're both at 6. I think my hand is just so you go to 4, you can go to 1, you give me equipment. So I can only take 1 card out of your hand this turn. If you want to keep all of your cards. That's if you want to keep all of your cards. Really? No, I guess that's not accurate. And if you go to 1, that takes a card out of your hand, so that's actually insane. So if Silas decides to go to 1 right here, this is actually like our turn's going to be so much better because of this. So I think this hand's just going to win us the game.
I have to overblock, which kind of sucks.
It's probably not going to win us the game this turn, but I do think that this hand is going to win us the game like over the course of the next like 1 to 2 turns here. I'm not going to banish that because I don't need a cost reduction, and it's just going to give Silas information. This comes in for 1. Silas has to give us a card now. And then we're going to come in for 6 with a Lava Burst.
Oh.
So Silas has to give us 2 cards here, which means Silas
I have to give you everything.
Oh, even better. Silas has to give us 3 cards here, which means we definitely win the game right here. Because even if Silas
played not doing that Art of War.
Oh, the second one?
Yeah.
So even if Silas had a snatch there, we have 4 points of equipment to block it up with, so we're really good. We're okay at this spot. His hand is a little awkward. Not super awkward, but a little awkward. So I think what we're going to do is Dachi, double strike. Actually, we just win the game here, don't we? Yeah.
You win no matter what.
We have 5 chain links here. I wasn't thinking. Silas was at 1. Was trying to think of the best way to maximize. Don't pass. Was trying to think of the best way to maximize my hand here, and instead of thinking about how Silas is at 1, we can just end the game. So takes Dachi's, and then he blocks the other Dachi, and then from here we have our double strike. Gets a card out of his hand.
Yeah, you win because you have 2 cards in hand.
Yeah, and then this double strike comes in for 2 because of Shuko. Oh, did you have a no block in hand?
No, but it doesn't matter.
Oh, you were just going to pass and let it go?
Yeah, it doesn't matter at that point.
Billy said, I don't know. That passing seems like the correct move, LOL. You know it, Billy. You know it.
I would think so.
Oh, yeah, I bet you do. You want a chance to get back into the game? I bet you do. GG. Thanks, Riddler. I appreciate it, man. I was like, we're playing like a literal mirror here because we're playing the exact same deck, testing for Cincinnati. So we're trying to see different sideboarding ideas and strategies and what's better in certain situations. No, I appreciate learning a lot, dude. Absolutely, man. I am happy to help in any way that I can. If you have questions or anything, man, please let me know. I think this hand is good enough to push damage. Dachi, this, Dachi, that, Phoenix Flame, potentially this. We'll see how Salas blocks. We could try to punish Salas at the end of a chain link here, depending on how he blocks. The problem is that Dachis don't really take cards out of Salas's hand, so not a. Ooh, interesting. Well, we're not gonna reduce anything. Because of that, I'm gonna throw a card here on Chain Link 2 or on Chain Link 3 here that does threaten Mask. Make Salas give me a card. Dachi, which Salas doesn't care to take. We activate 5 for 1, getting our Phoenix Flame back. This is for 2 because of Shuko. Interesting. So I think Salas has just been punished by me having the snatch on turn 0 too many times that he's not going to block there. So
that's what I think. If you have snatch there, I just get blown out.
The 2 points of life is probably worth you just it's probably worth you going to 35 to just not get blown out by it there.
I feel like if I block that and then you snatch, I just go, oh, I'm done.
I mean, yeah. So for what it's worth, I may or may not have had it.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't change the line, I don't think.
No, I mean, I think you're blocking correctly there, because you're right.
I thought you'd say that about me blocking correctly.
Because it is really bad for you if I have it. All right. So the only thing this could be is an empowerment. You don't have the Art of War. You would have played it already. Makes no sense for you not to have played it. You would have lost at least 1 point of value. I think you need every single point you can get out of your Art of War here. So I think I'm pretty safe to just play this. And then we're looking at Dachi, this, Phoenix Flame into this, which is actually really solid here. So I'm going to take a chance he doesn't have empowerment here. If he does have empowerment, we kind of get blown out because I'm not going to sink anything because I like my hand. But the empowerment gives Salas 2 new cards. So what it was, Brand, Dachi, and then it was the Bittering Thorns. Okay. So Salas only has 2 Draconic Chain Links, so he'd have to pitch a card here.
That's right.
I mean, so Dachi and Phoenix Flame are the same thing here. Had you played another,
this way. Forces a card out of your hand because then I can Phoenix.
Gotcha. I see. So you're going for the Mask hit here instead of just arsenal the Blaze Headlong for another turn, which I actually kind of like because
it's important to get your equipment or your hand early.
Phoenix Flame is for 1, so you're forcing me to make a decision on giving up a point of my Shuko or giving a card for my hand.
Yep.
This is this is a really interesting decision point for us.
Yeah, you lose value either way this way.
Oh, I forgot to talk about this yet. We went to the $5 store yesterday, is what Carly called it. I've never heard of this place. It's called Five Below. You guys ever been there?
Right down the road, man.
Yeah. So I had never been there, dude, and we went to it yesterday, and I found this gigantic water bottle for $5 that I love.
I'll have to watch your stream tomorrow at work and see.
Man. So in this spot, the Mask hit is basically worth 3 points on average. On average, is worth 3 points. So if I give up Mask here, the worst thing that could happen for me is a Snatch. That would be the absolute worst. Snatch is I go to 30, he throws a Snatch, I go to 26, and he still has an Arsenal. Or if I block with my Rising Resentment, my turn is still not bad, and I get to stop a potential Mask hit and save some life and Arsenal here. So I think this is the play, because blocking with my Rising Resentment allows me to go Dachi, breakpoint for Mask, and then throw the card in my Arsenal for another on-hit effect here. I think that's the correct play. I wouldn't bet the farm on it, but I think Rising Resentment in that spot has to be viewed as it blocks for 4 on the bottom because it blocks the 1 point and then it blocks the 3 on average points we get that Silas gets for Mask, or it's blocking or it's attacking for 3. And if I can block for 4 or attack for 3, I'll block for 4 almost every single time. So we'll just go ahead and throw the Mounting Anger anyway, even though Silas gave us a card on Chain Link 3. And then I'm just going to go ahead and throw my Snatch here. I think this is a tempo card at this point. I'm up a point on life, and I'm forcing Silas to decide if he wants to give me multiple cards from hand or if he wants to give me equipment. So that's really good. This hand's like really good, actually. This hand's like weirdly good and like weirdly awkward all at the same time. Okay, so Silas throws a head jab at us and then arsenals. So let's lead on Kodachis. Silas blocking right there really pans out for us over the course of this game. Like, I understand why Silas blocked right there. He obviously really likes his hand and wants to keep his hand, but him blocking like that right there, like, really gives us value over what's about to happen.
I have to block there. I can't. Oh gosh, you got it.
Because he's forced to decide if he wants to give me a card here, along with my 1 point of value, which is again on average for 3. So this is really like an essential 4 points right here. Okay. I think that's a smart block on Silas's part here.
No.
Our last card's pretty good, so we're just going to arsenal it and hang on to it for a better turn. Pitching a red, I mean, means he doesn't have resources, but I also makes me think that he just has the empowerment here. I'm gonna play this. Like, I don't think there's a reason to not play it here. I'm just gonna keep my hand. Again, my hand is really solid. If Silas didn't play the Ancestral Empowerment to try and fix his hand, but waited until I played the Sink Below, like, it's actually a lot of patience and a very solid play from Silas. That's like a really reserved play that I do not think your average Flesh and Blood player would make. Now, like Hamilton, Brody, Fang, all those guys, yeah, absolutely. But like,
I'll tell you, I have the Ancestral, but I don't play it because you still get punished for playing the Sink there.
Interesting. Funny parts, I think I can just say okay here. I'm trying to think of like what punishes me here. You pitched a red, which means you have another red in your hand. So if I snap, or if you snap and draw into a blue here, like, I guess worst case for me is another snatch for you. But even then, that's me going to 24. Then I go to 20. My hand is 1, 2, 6, 9, 14. So I'm giving up 8 to attack for 14 when I'm up 3 points. Well, when I'm really up 6 points because of the furnace difference as well.
Yeah, I got gratefully rewarded for not snatching or playing that.
Okay, so for not snapping there, your hand's better because of it?
And not playing the Ancestral.
Okay. Oh, you mean not playing it on the Bittering Thorns?
Yeah.
All right, so the Kodachi hits. We're going to throw a 3 power card here to make Silas think about it, and then we're going to throw our Rabble.
2.
Hey, let's go. You'll love to see it. Oh, Silas is going to give me Mask here. Interesting.
Yeah, my hand is really, really good.
So now we're looking at Kodachi. Lava Burst for 5. Our hand's actually crazy. Like,
What'd you draw?
you're about to find out.
Is it Salt the Wind?
Oh, wait, no, I can't do both, can I? That's still only 2 Draconic Chain Links, so I can't do both here. Actually, knowing that... Oh, man, am I going to have to undo the whole thing here? No, so, well, yeah, hang on. Let's play this again. Sorry, I think I just made a mistake without realizing it.
You got excited because I gave you Mask.
Yeah, I saw multiple cards and I thought I had a third Draconic Chain Link, but I don't.
It's hard to see on Talishar. I wish they would change the Chain Link hit.
I kind of like how it's compact, but at the same time, like, I also wish you could see it quicker and easier.
Well, just like instead of that red, it was like a deeper red or an orange or something.
That's fair.
That way they don't really change a lot.
So throw Kodachi here, put Silas to 16, and then I think the correct play is just to play the card we drew and then arsenal this, because Silas has kept his whole hand, which means I'm pretty sure he has an Art of War. I could throw the Lava Burst and snap here, but I don't think it's correct.
Yeah, I mean, I do have the art, but you're gonna name it, so
Like, I'm just always going to name Art of War here if you're keeping your hand like this. Like, and if you don't have an Art of War, then, like, there's a lot of mind games there that, like, I'm not really accounting for.
Oh, yeah, you can't.
Are you okay over there?
Oh, sorry, I'm doing the dishes.
Oh, no, you're fine. I thought you, like, dropped something on yourself, and I was like, are you okay? Okay, so here's where we're going to try and utilize our lead. Because we can block with 2 of these cards from hand, and then we can still have 1, 3, 1, 2, 5. So it's a 12-point turn plus blocking 4. So it's 14.5 card hand, which is undervalue. But I think if we get to stop a mask hit here, I think that's okay. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how Silas plays this. Honestly, him being at 11, I might just be okay giving up my mask here as well, which is kind of crazy to think about, but... So Silas told us he has the empowerment, but I'm not going to play that way. My hand is like just pushes so much damage with Silas at 11. I think this is just a furnace block every single time. Yeah, and Silas just gets the value of being able to draw an extra card and draw off the mask here, so... He's ravenously rabbling, man. Sounds like something Austin Powers would say. For anybody who doesn't know, I love Austin Powers. Those movies are like some of my favorites. Like they're so stupidly hilarious. Like, I love watching those movies. All right, so we no longer have to worry about mask. So from here, it's just stop damage where we can. We've already been punished pretty much as we can. We're just gonna try and push damage here at this point. Like, are we going draw card here? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Silas still has a snap, so throwing draw card is insanely powerful.
I told you, man, my hand would have been busted if you let me play that Art of War.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, your hand would have been crazy. Oh, wow. And he gets to come in for 7 here. Yeah, I'm going to go to 8. I think my hand is good enough to go to 8. Don't right-click, mouse. Even though I know it's not the mouse's fault. Mouse only does what I tell it to. Okay, so... Dachi. Brand. Okay, blocks for 3 on the brand. Let's throw our other Dachi. Let's come in for 3. Now, at this point in time, we don't need our resource, but we're going to leave our resource there because it makes Silas think that we have a 1-coster. So it's something to like make him think just a little bit more here. We're going to throw the Blaze because it's a break point on our Mask turn. Ooh, he's going to give us Mask and Shuko here. Okay, so he's wanting to try and keep his cards. Now, at this point, again, I don't know that he has an Art of War, but, like, he's wanting to keep as many cards as possible here. That makes sense to me. Now, we're going to make Salas give us a card here. The Lava Burst is just so good. Like, 0 for 6 because of the Shuko's broken.
Man, I think you've won now.
I mean, that probably wins me the game.
Having those sinks has really made a difference.
The sinks are insane. Sinks are absolutely crazy in this matchup.
I mean, that's good. We figured that out. Like,
I mean, maybe we want sinks going first or second.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna try in the next 2 games here. I'm gonna try empowerments when I'm going second to see if like I can like really like break empowerment and make it crazy. But I don't know. Okay, so Salas goes to 2. And now we have all of the equipment lead and we have the life lead here, which means we're really in a good spot. I like Salas playing his Art of War here, even if it's not great, because I think that Salas just, like, I think he has to. I think Salas has to go for the Art of War play.
Yeah, I don't think I'd have to draw really well.
I mean, I just don't think you have a choice here. Like, you think you're probably just forced to play it.
With you having 5 block equipment, it's I don't think it matters at this point.
I'm just gonna go to 6. I'm mostly blocking like this because if Silas has Razor, it puts me to 1, and I don't want to be at 1. I think we just get Furnace here. Salas has like a Snatch for 5. It would be very good. That would be like the scariest thing here. I think my hand just wins if I keep my hand, so I can just go to 2 here. Put Silas to 2, and I get to just keep my hand. Or I guess technically I have to give up my Shuko here when he comes in for 2. But still,
yeah, you win.
I was like, still keeping my hand here is good. Still puts on enough pressure to like close the game out, I think. Let's freaking
not that Sensor really.
Sensor was insane. It's Space Moose. What a name. That's an awesome name. It's Space Moose. My cousin would love that name. Honestly, I'm not convinced that's not been. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Tell me about yourself. What's your name and what got you into Flesh and Blood? Oh, and the other question that I have been asking, this is now a staple of the channel. What are your favorite hot dog toppings? That's a question we ask everybody when they follow or subscribe. So, Dachi, Brand, Dachi, Ronin Renegade for 3, and then we have the Phoenix Flame for 1.
Man.
And then
the sensor and
what'd you say?
The sensors and sinks came in clutch.
Yeah, the sensors and sinks were really good right there. It's really good. And then Salt to Win for 3 closes it out.
I don't think I misplayed so much that game. I just think maybe I don't let the sensor hit. That's the misplay.
I mean, I don't know. That's an interesting decision. So like if you block the sensor, like what, like do you remember your hand well enough to know what your turn looks like if you block with 2 cards?
No. I think it was double strike.
Let's see.
Brand. I'm going first.
Got the sensor hit on his Art of War turn. Oh, sink below if I can type. My lord. Really shined from the Arsenal. Okay, so it sounds like when we're going first, we definitely want to be on Sync Belows. Okay, so now we're playing, except this time I am going second. All right, which means we're going to sideboard differently. So we're going to talk about the differences in our sideboarding here. I started Fab with Monarch. Prism is still my favorite hero, though. Azalea is number 2. Hot dog wise, Mustard and Relish. Oh, Relish. Here we go. We're starting the arguments early. I love it, Moose. I love it. I play in the Maryland, Virginia local scene. Julian, who won Orlando on Kano, is a friend, local of mine. Oh, dude, that's awesome. It's cool that you know him. I was like, dude, watching his run through top 8 was kind of crazy. Honestly. Yeah, watching his run through top 8 was crazy. Like, I think in the quarters and the semis, he played like 3 collective turns or something like that. It was crazy, dude. It was crazy. But dude, welcome to the channel. I appreciate you being here, man. Appreciate you hanging out. Did you go to Orlando, Moose? Did you go? So yeah, we're gonna board in the ancestral empowerments here since we're going second, and we're gonna see if we can try to utilize the value that empowerment brings for us going second here. Okay, I mean, this is a pretty solid hand. Block 3. We're just going to try and block as much as we can on turn 0 here while trying also not to get blown out by the snatch. We'll take the Dachis here. Dachis are fine. If there's a card that we're going to try and keep in our hand, it's going to be this one on the far right-hand side of our hand. That's like the best card in our hand that we can hang on to here.
Warmongers.
Yeah, it's Warmongers, man. I'm trying to keep Warmongers to get you next turn.
And it is against Azalea.
So we'll block 4 here. Yeah, dude. I mean, I'll do anything I can to keep Warmongers against Azalea. It's insane. It's just so good. And this hand's like absolutely cracked. You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. Better lucky than good. Better lucky than good. We'll go Brand. We'll throw Blaze as a breakpoint here. If Silas has the Sink Below here, it's just absolutely insane.
I drew it, turn 0, baby.
Yeah, dude. Turn 0 Sink Below in the Arsenal is broken. Absolutely broken. We're going to throw Kodachi. I'm going to activate 5 for 1. We're going to come in for 1. And then I think pushing the mask hit is better here. Hopefully this is for 4 instead of for 3. Like, arsenaling that card is not a bad decision, and I don't dislike arsenaling the Ravenous Rabble at all, but I think pushing another breakpoint attack here to try and get across our mask is insane. But Silas is even insaner and just has both the Sink Belows. God.
That's so good.
Oh, that was so good, dude. And that's why we play him right there. Oh, man. That was great. Oh, and he's got the big. I was like, man, yeah, he's got it all. He's got it all. Never didn't have it.
Yeah, you're going to like it. It's Bittering Thorns for 4.
Man, I think I have to take this, right? I think I have to go to 32 here. I don't know.
Oh, you're going to love the next one.
Oh, boy. Is it a snatch for 5?
Bittering Thorns for 5.
I mean, that's also pretty good.
On hit mask.
I think we're just blocking 5. I think we're just blocking 5. My hand's like kind of mid anyway. Like,
there's argument to Arsenal that, but I don't think that's right there.
What'd you say?
I said there's argument to Arsenaling that, but I don't think that's right there.
No, I like you pushing the mask. I think that's correct. We're going to start by attacking for 3. No, I didn't go to Orlando. Wish I could afford to travel for Fab, though. Also, who doesn't like Relish? Because they're wrong. Listen, Moose, going to be honest, man. I'm a firm believer that the only place relish belongs is in the trash can. So I'm sorry to have started a fight so early on in our friendship here, but I'm not a big relish fan. It's I don't know, it feels pretty mid to me personally. But yeah, I get that, man. I get that. Like there are a lot of Flesh and Blood events that I can't go to just because, like, you know, like it's like the responsible thing is not to, you know, is just like not to travel. You know, like if you don't have the funds set aside for it, and there are a lot of times that like I miss events or things because, you know, I just don't have the money to travel out of the country or do anything crazy all the time. So I end up in a lot of places like that as well, where I don't get to travel as much as I'd like to. But I am excited to go to Battle Hardened Cincinnati in a few weeks. I'm very excited to go to Cincinnati. This hand is really interesting. I mean, is being able to play this without a blue worth it? Or am I supposed to just block here? I mean, if I block here... yeah, I think we're supposed to block here, which is sucks, but I think it's the correct play. Yep. Salas is going to get Phoenix Flame back. Makes sense. We can agree to disagree as long as you're not a ketchup on a hot dog kind of person. I mean, listen, man. I have been known to put ketchup on a hot dog from time to time. I would be lying if I said otherwise. I'm more of a chili on a hot dog kind of person, mostly. But yeah, I have been known to put a little ketchup and mustard on there from time to time. He said, "Oh no." Oh, Moose, that's hilarious, dude. Yeah, I think we're just gonna take this, right? Because you don't know what's in my arsenal. No, you don't know what's in my hand. So you're naming in the dark, which I'm okay with. I think. Yeah, I think I'm just okay going to 25 or going to 23 here. I think. This man hates you already. Listen, Drew, I'm not just gonna start lying to everybody, man. Like, so Moose, I do have to say, I have never met somebody who is so actively against putting ketchup on a hot dog. I feel like there's got to be a story there, and I would love to hear about it if there is. Also, Moose, you can thank Drew. The hot dog question is completely courtesy of Drew. I have never met somebody who is so adamant about hot dog toppings, and Drew is. So we actively thank Drew for his contribution to our questionnaire that everybody has to fill out as part of their welcome to the channel. So Salas names Artivore on the sensor, which I think is like, even with 3 cards in an arsenal, I think that's a pretty good name, considering that, you know, he doesn't know any of the cards in our hand. With 3 cards in an arsenal, I would name Artivore into Silas, so I think that's his best bet. So let's go Kadachi. And then let's throw our Bittering Thorns for 4. We're pushing a breakpoint here on our Mask on Chainlink 4. And if Silas' hand is good enough, which I can't imagine there's a 4-card hand that's just good enough that Silas is not going to block here. I could be wrong, like, but I don't know. Like, there's generally not a 4-card hand that's just like that crazy. So we'll just go ahead and pass, and we'll arsenal our last card. We'll set up for the next turn. Okay, well, I'm gonna take the Kadachi here, go to 22. I'm actually gonna block the second Kadachi with the Furnace. I think blocking the second Kadachi is the way to go, because he didn't have a brand. Okay, so Salas is going to arsenal and set up here. Okay. Shoo! Alright, so now we kind of get to like have our turn a little bit here. Ketchup in my mind is more of a kid's condiment since it's just sugar. I mean, I'm not going to say you're wrong, but I like sugar. I have a sweet tooth, so I'm definitely not going to say you're wrong, Moose, but I'm a big ketchup fan. I am more passionate about buffalo wings, but I do really love hot dogs, man. Drew, Drew, you're just like an onion, bro. Like the layers are just always peeling back here. I love it, dude. I love it. All right, so hit me with a hot take on buffalo wings, man, because I like some wings. Although Carly will tell you that I don't like wings. Carly will tell you that that I don't like wings because I like to eat boneless wings, which is probably going to start a fight in the channel again, but that's okay. So we're going to lead on Brand with Cinderclaw, and then as a reaction, we're going to play our Art of War. What just happened? Did I choose 0 items? Did I do that again? Banish and buff. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and banish our blue Lava Vein loyalty from our hand. And we're going to draw absolute bangers. Actually, not bad draws right there. You love to see it. You love to see it. Mounting Anger for 5. On hit, Mascola, which is pretty good for us. We're going to go Ronin Renegade for 4. We're going to go Phoenix Flame for 3 because of Tiger Stripe Shuko. Drums over flats all the time. What are drum wings over flats? Are these like different kinds of wings, Moose? Am I like uncultured in wings? I'm honestly surprised Carly's sitting in the other room, not on this topic right now, because Carly is a big wing connoisseur herself. Okay, and then Silas just blocks 5. So now it's 19-19, and we're going back into our turn with all the tempo, which you really like to see. I only get boneless when I'm lazy. I mean, Carly tells me that boneless wings are just chicken nuggets, so she doesn't like to eat them, which I also like chicken nuggets, so that makes sense.
Boneless is the superior wing.
I also think boneless is a superior wing, Silas. Flats
Less
are the
mess,
wings and
more
drums are
enjoyment.
the legs. Drums are the legs and flats are the wings. Interesting. I don't know that I could tell you the difference if you sat both in front of me. I'm going to be honest. Okay, Carly also thinks drums are better than flats. Ooh, interesting. Drew, what do you think? Are you a drum or a flat kind of person here? I'm intrigued here. Silas, do you have a preference? Do you care one way or the other, Silas, or are you just happy to hanging out?
I mean, as long as they're boneless, I don't care.
As long as they're boneless, I don't care. So Dachi. Okay, I just like, I haven't even read Carly's full message yet, but she's already being sarcastic about it, so here we go. Flats are the ones that are flat. Thanks a lot. God. They have the 2 bones. You have to get the meat out of them from between them.
That can't be right.
Okay, so flats are the ones that they have at the Buffalo Wild Wings, right? Like that's what they have at B-Dubs. So I mean, I think at this point we're just gonna go 5 draw card. Put some more pressure on Silas and set up an Arsenal. Wow, that's an insanely good card to Arsenal right here.
Art or ancestral?
Neither actually. I mean, it's not like broken or anything, but this is just a good card. I like having this card in my arsenal. I'm just gonna take the Kadachi here because my hand blocks pretty efficiently, so I'm pretty okay with blocking 6 if I have to. Yeah, I mean that just makes that decision a lot easier, I think. I'm a flats guy, but honestly, I just love wings. I get the argument that traditional wings are too much work, but the flavor is worth the work in my opinion. That's Carly's opinion. Oh, Snatch to follow it up. Punishment City. I think we're just supposed to block 4 here. we still get to have a four chain link turn here if we block 4. So we get to keep our life lead, and we get to come in for 4 points of value here and use our Shuko.
Where are my Art of Wars?
You know, I didn't play a single Art of War against you either.
Yeah, this is
when
weird.
I was going first, which was crazy. Like, Talishar be on that bug stuff today. But as long as they have bones, I'm good. Stupid boneless. Give me bones. God, you're such a barbarian, Carly. Yeah, Carly likes to work for her food, which I've never really understood. But I'm sure that she feels the same way that Drew said, that the traditional wings are just worth the work. Oh wow, just willing to give me both pieces of equipment here.
Yeah, I need to try to have a hand. Like, I don't like, you've had pressure.
I mean, that's fair. I get it. Like, I'm not saying you're wrong. I just it's always interesting to me to see that kind of stuff.
Sad part is I don't trigger mass now, so it doesn't even matter what you.
Yeah, you giving up mass there is really good, and also Shuko is really good for me because you just lost a point off of your turn, and I'm no longer worried about you drawing cards from hand anyway, or from the mask anyway. So
I think that Art of War was such a good turn that it doesn't matter.
Art of War turn was very good. I was like, I assume you didn't mean to pass right there.
No, because you took all the tempo, and I had to block my whole hand because it was not that great.
All right, so we go to 10 here. And since Salas is at 4, if he gives us something that's like, you know, that we feel like we need to block here. Oh, wow. Salt of Wound is the one card that punishes us for not blocking here. Actually, like, really good.
Yeah, but you can still take it and be at 3. It doesn't really matter.
I mean, I'm just going to block with Mask here. I guess I could have given you Shuko as well there. I don't get to trigger my Shuko this turn, but I don't think it matters. Actually. No, because then I can't play both of them. So it's definitely 1, 2, 6, 13. Yeah, that's the play. That is like 100% the play every time. So Kadachi, Chalice goes to 2. We throw a Bittering Thorns. I mean, Silas has 1 Sink Below we haven't seen, so him having the Sink Below here would be very solid. Silas does not have the Sink Below. Oh, well, what happened right there? Did you want to block differently?
Yeah, I should block 5, not 6. That 3 blocks more important.
Yeah, that's fair. So at this point, if Silas has a 3 block and a 2 block in his hand, he's just dead. 2 3 blocks puts him to 1. But okay, so we took a chance there on being able to kill Silas instead of setting up an arsenal. But we're putting Silas to 1 with Kadachi's. I don't really think it matters.
Hey, an Art of War.
That's hilarious.
I think you have to draw your Art of Wars to win this matchup.
I mean, so I didn't draw Art of Wars in the first 2 games. Did I? I don't think I did.
I don't. Like, it makes such a big difference.
I think this just ends the game because I have snaps right here. I would snap this every time.
I mean, we went almost 10 turns. That's long for 5 mirrors.
Yeah, I mean, like it's because we've set the deck up in a way that like it blocks and wants to play like a grindy kind of game. It can anyway, and a lot of people don't play 5 that way. I am a firm believer that the more your deck can block, the better it is.
Yeah. All right, man. I'm gonna have to get off. Good testing.
No worries, man. I appreciate you playing games.
Yeah, we got some good testing.
Yeah, absolutely. I was like, this was really good. I think this like I think we found that we have a good Azalea matchup, or like we have good plan into Azalea, maybe not just a good matchup all the time. And I think that I think the Phi is something we're still like kind of working with. Like the Phi mirror is like interesting, but I think Sink Below's going first is correct.
Yeah.
So an empowerment never really did anything for me that game, did it?
It never did anything.
I
for
blocked
me either,
3
no.
with it. So maybe it's just sinks always.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to test that in the coming week.
Yeah, that sounds good, man.
All right, man. Take it easy.
All right, you too. Okay. So let me go ahead and finish logging my game here. So Artivore turn was really strong. Took tempo and Silas's entire hand. Going second with Artivore might just be too strong. Okay. All right, so let's look at this now. We have over 27 games with this deck. I am 25-2 with this list that I'm playing right now. I lost to Azalea earlier today. Silas beat me on a super close game, and he had a Rain Razor's Bullseye Bracer's turn to beat me. And then I lost to a Vincent on Thursday night in our opening round where I punted away a game. But again, I punted. Had nothing to do with like us losing because we lost to Vincent. I punted away the game. So I think that kind of speaks for itself. 25-2 is just impressive. I don't think I've ever played a deck, even on Talishar games, where I've went 25-2. And I've played a lot of really good games over the past like week or two, where I've played against people. So like where I played against people who are like good and like they know what they're doing and they're blocking efficiently and taking the turns here. So we played 7 games today. I beat Azalea 3 of the 4 games we played, and then I won all 3 of the games into the Phi mirror, going first and second against Silas. I do think that I think we learned today that the Ancestral Empowerment is not that good. I think we learned that the Ancestral Empowerment's not that good in the Phi mirror. Maybe Sink Below is just better all the way around. I do look at Ancestral Empowerment as a 0 for 4, but I like that Sink Below is a 0 for 4 and also like lets me filter a card if I need to, so that's pretty good. 25-2 is kind of crazy. Yeah, 25-2 is like actually like that's probably one of the best records I've ever had, period. As far as like playing, like just like flat out playing games is concerned. That's like insane. It's like actually just crazy to think about. Like, I mean, winning that many games in a row is not easy for anybody, in my opinion, and on any deck. The other change that we had talked about making today was cutting the Tunic and playing Emberblade to play into Azalea. So I need to see how Emberblade fills into Azalea, and see if there's other matchups that I want it into. Like maybe Emberblade is just better into the maybe Emberblade is better into like Arachne and stuff like that. So we could always try that as well. So this is a matchup where I'd want to try the Emberblade, but I don't have it set up. We're going to try the same plan that we did against Silas, and we're going to see how it goes. We're going to bring in Sinks, Reinforces, Command and Conquers. We're going to cut Artivores, and we're going to cut Double Strikes here. And we're gonna try and run that into a random Azalea and see how it goes. Me being forced to go first, I think is a good play from our opponent here. I think I'm just gonna pass, honestly. Like I don't want them to like be able to filter here, and I think I just wanna arsenal my Sink Below and set up a little bit here. So playing Kadachi Phi. We're playing against somebody on Talishar. They're playing Azalea, and we were forced to go first. Should probably start making notes about whether I picked to go first or whether my opponent made me go first in certain matchups. I think that's also kind of important to note. I'm just going to block 3. Like, I'm okay just taking 2 here. If my opponent's not going to do any kind of, like, disruption nonsense, then... Ooh, interesting. Playing CNC into me is super spicy. I mean, I'm just going to block 6 here and then throw my Rabble and keep my Sink Below there. What flavor wings do you order? Ooh, that's a good question. So I'm a, oh my gosh, Sag. I'm a big, I like honey barbecue a lot, and I like teriyaki. Teriyaki and honey barbecue are like kind of like my two go-to like wing flavors that I ordered, Drew. Those are classic ones for me. I guess you could say those stand out for me. If it's like Command and Conquer and E-Strike have been my opponent's turns here, this kind of makes me think that my opponent's playing a little bit more of like a mid-rangey style play into me, where they're like trying to play, like they're trying to play less, like trying to do less of this stuff and more just like fair stuff. But I don't know. So this is for 8 currently. So 2, 4, 6, and then my turn is Dachi Bittering Thorns into potentially Arsenal the Blaze here. Sink Below's looking really good right here. Sink Below's looking really good. I'm not going to sink anything. I really like my hand. And we get to block 8 and keep the inertia off the field. So we kind of get to decide how we want to go about playing this turn. If we want to Arsenal the Blaze, or if we want to try and push 4 extra points of damage. Really depends on what our opponent does here in this spot. Really depends on like how our opponent blocks this turn. I like curry on wings, and then mango habanero is goated. Ooh, I've never had mango habanero, but it sounds spicy. And I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm the like, you know, like I'm the like mayonnaise is spicy kind of person. Like I'm one of those people. They like Curly makes fun of me all the time because like I can't really eat a lot of spicy stuff. It like really like messes with me, honestly. I see why she makes fun of you now. Wow, Drew. Shot through the heart, man. Oh. So we have the Command and Conquer here to just play around like another Dominator Red in the Ledger if that's what their turn looks like. Or even if it's just like a very powerful Red in the Ledger, that's also perfectly fine. Ooh, double Blood Rot is really good. And the Inertia. 3, 5, 7, 11. Okay, so I mean, I think I'm just going to 31 and then I'm just going to go to 27. Like, I want to play the Command and Conquer, but maybe I'm just supposed to inertia it away here. Like, this is a weird turn here. You're that flavor of white guy? I am, though. I really am. I 100% am. Like, this is a weird turn. So to block this out here, I would have to give every single card from my hand, and then I would also have to give Shuko and Furnace, which I don't like doing. Maybe I'm supposed to block 6. Actually, am I just supposed to play Sink Below? No, because then I can't play both here. I mean, this is like really weird. Take 5, go to 34, and then go to 30, and then I'll just throw my brand. I don't think I'm going to sink this because I could find like a snatch or something. I could also find a blue, which would be pretty good, but I could also just find another Command and Conquer, and then my hand's terrible. So I think I'm just supposed to keep my, I think I'm just supposed to... Oh, yeah. Duh. 38 minus 5 is 33, so I'm going to be at 29. I'm going to be at 29, not at 30. And then the inertia puts the Command and Conquer to the bottom, which is perfectly fine. Oh, I have to click no again. I thought it gave me an option to pass here. This is an interesting hand. I mean, if I'm able to, I'm probably just going to like try to block 10 if I need to, and then Arsenal my Sink Below. and try to set up and like get God, if he has 3 pumps here, he could totally just play it, which is so bad for me. So 10 dominate. So 3, 4, 5, 6. Reinforce. Kadachi. Arsenal Sync. Oh, it's for 11 because of that, which is so unfortunate. I mean, maybe I just have to like... I mean, he gets to take 2 cards out of my hand. I can't just keep taking damage here. The fact that it has the aim counter is so backbreaking. I mean, I guess I can just take 3. Actually, he's going to take 2 cards out of my hand. So let's go ahead and do this, and we'll just take 3, and he gets to take both of my cards out of my hand, but I'm at 26. He's going to put a counter on my Shuko. Like, that's the thing that makes the most sense here to put a counter on. I agree with curry on wings. I love herbal spices. Not a huge fan of sweetness on my wings. I mean, I have a sweet tooth, and I just like the whole, like, sweet flavor of things in general. Like, I think that's why I like teriyaki so much, because it, like, has a very sweet flavor to it naturally. I think that's why I'm, like, such a big fan of it personally. But I get that, though. Wings are also one of those things that like people are very passionate about, and like I'm gonna be honest, I've just never really had that for wings. Like wings are good. Like I don't dislike wings. I just like very, very rarely am I like, oh my gosh, like if we don't go get some wings, I'm just gonna like throw myself off a bridge. You know what I mean? Like I'm not really one of those people. It's also worth noting I have not seen a single Warmongers yet. We have seen 3 Sink Belows though, and a Reinforcer line. So we have 2 Reinforces, which we're not really guaranteed. We're not really guaranteed to see anytime here soon. So I kind of like going to 15 here to be able to go pitch Brand to play Mounting Anger. And then come in with Command and Conquer. Like, so then we would pitch Rising Resentment to activate Furnace. So it turns our hand into 10 points here. Maybe I'm supposed to block 2 and just attack with Command and Conquer. Like, I don't know. Like my hands have been, like, super awkward this game. Like, every single thing my opponent has done has felt like just a, like, natural counter to, like, what I'm trying to do this game. Like, and I understand, like, that, like, that's, like, kind of, like, aggro decks in general, but I'm saying, like, it feels like they have drawn in an extremely specific way that has, like, put me in a really bad spot this game so far. Yeah, I get you. I just love savory flavors. If we don't get wings, I'm throwing someone else off a bridge. If I fall off the bridge, I can no longer enjoy wings. That's fair, Drew. Oh, man. So 3, 4, 5, 11. So is that more? So if I go for 3 here, and then I come in for 4, activate Furnace, no, because then I don't have the resources to throw this. So it just has to be Mounting Anger into this, into Command and Conquer. Which, I mean, my opponent may not care about, honestly, with like the Spire Sniping being their face-up card. They may not care about that. I don't know, but they also like to have cards in their arsenal, so I don't know. We're also like not playing around Codex very well, but I don't really think a quad red hand allows us to play around Codex very well, so I mean, this hand's pretty good. Like, this hand has a lot of play to it. We just have to hope that our opponent like throws some damage at us here instead of like throwing like a red in the ledger or like a, I don't know, like a remorseless would be bad. Those are really the only two cards that really like shut down my turn. Yep. So they could go, they've already played one buff, which is like so bad for us. I mean, the game counter doesn't do anything for them. They're going to pitch their last card here. 11, dominate. Take 8, go to 7. And then I'm essentially at 5, which means I'd be at 4 and then at 3. Yeah, this game has really not gone well for me. Which is interesting because I feel like the game started out in a pretty positive note for us. Being able to like Arsenal to sink below like pretty early on, I feel like really like set us up in a positive way early on. But like it's like it just feels like it has really fallen off ever since. Let's go Bittering Thorns. And then we're just going to come in for 6. So I'm at 5. And then I'm going to go to 3. And my opponent's got a pretty good hand here, it feels like, if they're willing to just... I mean, if my opponent can't dominate something here and I can hang on and keep the Warmongers, then I think we're in an okay spot. But that's a pretty big if. I'm going to play around the Rain Razors here. Overblocking might have killed me. I don't know. It might have killed me right there, but I think playing around the Rain Razors is correct. That's bad. E-Strike is probably just our best card here. Remorseless is going to be for 7. And we're going to block 7. I don't understand why he didn't flip it up there. He should have opted one. Right? My opponent should have opted one there. Yeah, my opponent definitely should have just opted one right there. Like, the Deadeye is good, but, like, they might have found a better card there, so small misstep for my opponent. Probably not something that they see a big issue with here. I mean, I can only block 7. So if they have, like, 3 buffs here, like, 2, I guess 2 doesn't kill me. Yeah. So, I mean, this is 13 dominate, and then I'm going to block 3 and play the reinforce the line, and then take 6. Yeah, they found a 0-coster on top and killed me. Like, they didn't have to pitch their card there. That's a game I'm going to go back and watch, because my opponent, honestly, like, thinking back about that game and, like, how that game played out, that's probably the hottest I've ever seen an Azalea run to counter what my hands are. Also, we saw one Warmonger's Diplomacy. One Warmonger's Diplomacy, and it was too late. I had to block with it. Yeah, that was tough. That game was rough. Like, that was like an all-around, like, bad game for me right there. Felt like my opponent had every answer at every turn, but that could be my feels bad at the moment. Re-watch game later for improvements. Okay, so I'm going to go back and watch that game later. to see like where I can improve and what I can make better there. Because that was tough. That was tough. I just felt like I was just getting shellacked every single turn right there. I think he could have killed you on that Codex turn. When he got the Remorseless back, is there something he could have done to kill me, Drew? Is there something that I missed? I mean, it's very possible that he could... Never mind, he couldn't have? Okay, gotcha. I was like, it's very possible that he could have, and I just... Without knowing the contents of his hand, I'm not 100% sure. I was like, I don't remember exactly what was in his hand that game. I'm going to mark down 1 point for Stab Wound right there. Because the 3 block on Stab Wound was a lot better than the 2 block on Yellow Brand with Cinderclaw. So this file list that I've been playing feels like absolutely crazy. Like it feels really good. Feels like I have a solid Azalea plan. Like feels like we have a good Bravo plan. Like I'm really enjoying this file list. The changes that I'm honestly debating making are cutting Tunic to play Emberblade in the deck, and I think that would be a net positive change all the way around for the deck. I think like decks like Azalea, you want Emberblade. Like probably decks like Arachne and decks like Azura, you probably want Emberblade into because they have frailties and other random things they're doing. So I think the Emberblade is just better in those matchups. So that's a change I think I'm gonna make and continue to work on that. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. I forgot Codex puts arrows face down. Yeah, it loads them in face down. All right, well, guys, that's it for the stream today. Thanks so much for hanging out. I appreciate everybody being here. Don't forget, if you guys are members on YouTube, I'm going to be posting that poll for what I'll be playing so that you guys can vote on what I'll be playing this coming week. I'm posting that as soon as I get done streaming here, and then there won't be a stream tomorrow. There won't be a stream tomorrow, and then I'll be back on Tuesday, I believe, if nothing changes. Should be back on Tuesday. And then the other thing that I'm going to work on this week and try to get set up, hopefully for next week, so that everybody on Twitch can vote on it. I'm trying to set up a subscribers only Discord. Or something like that. So that was one of the ways that I saw a video and people were talking about how like you can interact with like your subscribers from Twitch in a specific way, like through a subscribers only Discord. And so I thought that might be a cool way to let everybody on Twitch vote on what I'm playing as well. Because, like right now, the only way I have it set up is for the people that if you're a member on YouTube, you can actually vote for everything that I'm playing on a weekly basis. But if you're on Twitch, I don't really have that set up yet. So I think I'm gonna work on setting up a Discord so everybody who's a subscriber can have access to the Discord that way to vote on what I'm playing on a weekly basis. And then I'll just tally the votes between the two polls and we'll decide that way. So that's what I'm working on right now. And I guess if nothing else, I will see you guys on Tuesday. Thanks so much for watching and have a good week, guys.